ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. Don't wait, no hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out all higher interest debt and lowering your bills by thousands. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1666171, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99?
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99?
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What, you expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $6.99. That's right, just $6.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always bow time.
Listen up, parents, teachers, counselors, coaches. Your boys just turned 18, but they need one more push. Don't let them forget to register with the Selective Service System. It's required by law, and it can open up the door to many federal benefits. Visit sss.gov.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. The clouds will continue to thin out as we head through the afternoon, and temperatures are much warmer than yesterday. We climb into the mid-60s. And it's a mild night tonight, too. We'll see an overnight low of 49. And then for tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with a high of 70 degrees.
3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones this afternoon up 479 points to 49,456.
Has time. Down the middle, throws an interception. Picked off by Christian Roseboom. Young flips it short. Caught. Tremble, touchdown as the tight end at Notre Dame.
As Cousins has a lot of time and throws for the end zone. That's a touchdown, Falcons. Drake London all alone sitting back there. Tyler Shough, and it is intercepted. The Falcon take away D. Alford on his way.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Playoff week for the Carolina Panthers. Hockey night in Carolina, welcoming Mikko Rantanen back to the Lenovo Center. A top 20 ACC basketball matchup between Duke and Louisville. NC State looking to get it back rolling tonight as well against Boston College. It's a good day. It's a good day. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. This is The Drive, and just like every single episode, every single show, we start things with the big three. At 3, let's do it.
Number 1.
Panthers are preparing for a playoff football game as we speak.
Still hard to believe. You got to wrap your head around that. Playoff football, Panthers. It's been a long time.
Tuesday is probably where it's setting in for the players, right? Because they finished their game on Saturday. They went to sleep. They didn't know if they were going to be in the postseason. Sunday, whirlwind. Monday, okay, what do we do? Tuesday, we got a game to win. The Carolina Panthers have a postseason game on Saturday, by the way. Sneaks up on you a little bit. On Saturday. And if there is, actually it's similar to what was going on with the Panthers and Bucks going into Saturday this past week. You look at it and you go, man, that other team has a lot of experience in these types of games, don't they? And the Panthers, they don't, right? If you looked at it last week, you saw Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Levante David, on and on and on, guys with Super Bowl rings. And then you looked at the Panthers and you're like, well, these guys, they're usually mathematically eliminated by December, right? The experience was different. Now you're going into the postseason where every NFL player I've ever talked with, every NFL player I've ever interacted with has pretty much sworn by there's absolutely no way you can simulate or you can practice or prepare for postseason football. That might be true for every sport, but it's definitely true for the NFL. And the Rams, again, you look across the way, there's a lot of guys with a lot of experience playing the highest level in the postseason. Matt Stafford, he's got a ring. Devontae Adams, all those years with Rodgers. You can go on and on and on all the way up and down through their roster.
And they just won a championship, 2 years ago?
It really wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Some of the main characters from that, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, are gone, but it's not like they replaced them with scrubs. Dave Canales, Monday, that's yesterday, head coach of the Panthers, talked to the media about having so many players who simply haven't played in the playoffs.
It's a fantastic opportunity. Again, as much as we try to preach to our group, every game is a championship moment. Every game is a championship opportunity. Here it is right in front of us now. We're in the playoffs, and to try to make sure that our focus doesn't waver or shift like you have to do anything that you haven't done before. It's about the basics. Football this time of year is about tackling, it's about blocking, and it's about being really efficient. And with each round, the pass rushers get better and better. Here come the Rams with the fantastic front five, the way they get after it, the way they play. These are the types of teams that are in the playoffs. And so matching that energy, making sure we're at our best has to be the focus.
There is a little bit of naivete might be good in this situation. The best news, right? It's like what college coaches say about freshmen, right? What's the best thing about freshmen? They turn into sophomores. Now that you have this core playing in a postseason game, hopefully the next time you get back to the postseason, you won't be the team with very little to no postseason experience, right? You're checking the experience box this weekend. In the meantime, yeah, maybe there is some ignorance is bliss. You don't know what you don't know. Look around, Tedero McMillan, he doesn't know that you don't go to the postseason every single year. Right? His subconscious may be saying you don't even have to win most of your games and you get to go to the postseason. You could lose more than you win, you still get to go. That's his experience, right? So going into the postseason, I think you lean on whatever experience you do have as far as, Bryce Young playing in SEC championships and being around a national champion. You lean on whatever experience you have and you hope for the best. I'm going to describe this a few different ways today. I do think it's a very crucial weather the early storm game for the Panthers. If it's close at halftime, people will start to believe, you'll start to buy in, and everything will kind of change. Bank of America will start to light up in a way that you haven't seen it in a very long time. But you got to weather that early storm, right? Stafford, Puka, those guys will land a couple early jabs. Weather that storm, keep it close. If you get into that second half, that's where experience kind of goes out the way, right? That's number one. Let's get to number two.
Number two.
Carolina Hurricanes, hockey night in Carolina. You can hear that game right here on 99.9 The Fan. They are hosting the Dallas Stars. Was that for all of the Dallas Stars, or was that for one specific Dallas Star?
Yes.
Yep. Which one specific Dallas Star would it be for?
Not Jason Robertson.
Hey, future Kane. Knock on wood. Mikko Rantanen's returning. And I don't need to run through the history that he has with the Carolina Hurricanes, the brief stop he made, 12, 13 games in the middle of the season, the body language that infuriated us all during his time with the Carolina Hurricanes, the personal nature of which it felt. Right? It didn't feel, business decision-y. It felt angry. There you go. And with that, you can be personal back. I kind of enjoyed this. By the way, any good movie is only as good as its villain. Tonight should be really entertaining, right? There is a very obvious good and evil, right? There is a very obvious side that for all of the reasons we love the Canes stands for morals and ethics, and then there's the other guy. So it should be really fun. Also, Dallas is talented, right? Like it's two good top to bottom rosters of talent going against each other. And if you need just a cherry on top of the sundae, Seth Jarvis expected to be back on the ice. Rod Brindamore told us. Seth Jarvis skating alongside Stahl and Martinook in the morning skate this morning. Seth's been out since December 19th, sliding into the goal there, taking it in the midsection. That's a boost. If there was no personal history with anyone on Dallas, if you were playing nameless, faceless opponent, the Lenovo Center would be rocking for when Jarvis possesses the puck, right? He is that type of fan favorite, and he's back. And he spoke with the media. This is what Seth Jarvis had to say about skating with Martinook and Stahl in his return.
Yeah, I'm back with my dads. I love those guys, so I'm excited. That line, Fishy's line's been great. So just filling in wherever I can, providing offense from Jordan's line and help out defensively as well. Like I said, I'm just excited to be back on the ice and excited to play with two of my favorite guys.
He has officially been off injured reserve for 25 minutes.
Yes. He's missed 8 games. But yes, the 242, the press release came out.
He is officially off IR. He's skating with Stahl, which you may be like, oh, they're trying to ease him back, or maybe they're not No, that line is a requirement to play well, and they're going to play a lot today. Right? No disrespect to Noah Philp, but I don't know how often you want him out there centering a line. I think that the Stahl line is going to play big minutes. Mm-hmm. And I was just talking with Adam Gold. He passed along some wisdom. Jordan Stahl he's kind of got Dallas's number over his career.
Oh, yeah?
He scores, I think, again, pardon me if I get it a hair wrong, something like 29 or 30 points in 34 games against Dallas in his career. And no disrespect to Jordan Stahl, he's not a nearly 1 point per game player. But for whatever reason, you put those Stars jerseys on the opponent, he tends to find some production in the offensive zone that you're not used to seeing from him.
In 35 games against the Dallas Stars, he has 11 goals and 18 assists, so 29 points.
See? So Jordan Stahl with Seth Jarvis alongside him and obviously his buddy Martinook on the other side, that line may have something for you today.
Including 4 power play goals.
Which he's at least been taking face-offs, right? If it's face-off, get in front of the net quick, could be something happening there.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have first goal scorer predictions coming up at 4:33. If you wanted to choose somebody, if you wanted to call in and choose somebody from the Stahl line, I'm not saying it's a bad call.
Not terrible.
That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
We have college basketball tonight. We have big-time college basketball tonight. NC State is at Boston College. They're trying to kind of bounce back from a tough loss in a lot of different ways against Virginia. But the headliner is going to be number 6 in the country, Duke, at number 20 in the country, Louisville. Some believe these are the 2 best teams in the ACC. Pretty much everyone agrees they're 2 of the 3 or 4 best teams in the ACC. 2 of the flag bearers for the Atlantic Coast Conference that are expected to make runs into the postseason and everything else. Do you know what I'm looking for from Duke? Defense. which is weird because last year I think we may have taken it for granted. Like everybody talked about Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple and all this offensive fire, Isaiah Evans, all this offensive firepower, but they were pretty darn consistent on the defensive end. And when their offense did go cold, they always had that to lean on. They had Kamon Malawach, obviously protecting the bucket. Malik Brown, great defensive player who's still around. This year, the last 3 games, right? Texas Tech scored 82. Then all of a sudden you're looking at Florida State, Georgia Tech before that. Both Georgia Tech and Florida State scored above their season average against Duke. Right? And at this point in time, if you're a power conference opponent, your season average is usually a little bloated by all of the non-conference games you played, all the bye games you played. And they scored over their season average against Duke. Granted, Duke scored more, right? They won both games, probably a little closer than fans would have liked. But, I mean, Georgia Tech shot the absolute lights out. And if Duke didn't have an overwhelming physicality advantage, meaning they were bullying, going down low, getting to the free throw line a ton, that game would not have been a sure thing at all. Louisville can score. Louisville can shoot. And I know Michael Brown is out, the talented youngster, but they still have guys that can light it up from deep. If your defense isn't communicating well, getting out on shooters, I mean, if Georgia Tech's lighting you up from 3, if Georgia Tech's shooting a high percentage against you, Louisville's probably licking their chops. At home, by the way, in Louisville. So I want to see the defense step up. Yeah, their offense has been pretty good. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is just a start. Dennis, you're waving at me. Is there something you want to say?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, not at all.
Just excited? Just
Yes.
It's a good day?
Mhm.
He's just waving his arms, stretching out. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, looks at Bryce Young, and we quarterback nerd out. It was a conversation started by Kurt Warner and Dan Orlovsky on Twitter about footwork, and we bring it to light for you right here on The Drive. Don't go anywhere.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. People are looking around their homes right now, and they're saying, I need this, I need this, I need this. You guys do everything for the exterior of your home. How do you keep it from being overwhelming for the homeowner?
Right, Adam. The first thing we do is we come out there, do an assessment with the homeowner. It's a no-obligation estimate, and we can break it up into phases of projects, or if you want to break it up into easy monthly payments, we come out there, give you a good plan. It's no pressure, no obligation. And whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, most of these projects we give you a lifetime warranty on for the rest of your time in the home. And then you can also break it up into easy monthly payments and make it manageable for your budget.
I love manageable. I love easy monthly payments. I love lifetime warranties. Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. These people are amazing. You should check them out online, aluminumcompany.com.
Coach, I went on Google and typed in financial advisor near me, and I'm creeped out. It's a little bit scary. I don't know these people, and they look like they're off in some other land. They're not really local. You're really here.
It's widely known in the internet world that a lot of these folks can make themselves look like they're local, and they get your attention, and all of a sudden they're getting your money, and then you realize they're not even in the state. Maybe they rented a little office here from somebody in a back room, and so that makes it look like they have a real address here. We're local. I've been here 33 years. I mean, we have paid taxes locally. But no, we're here, and so I want to celebrate our locality, to invite everybody listening to come on in for an open house. But also, I'm going to do this. For the next 30 people that call, we're going to send you my newest book, The Tax Savvy Retirement, at no cost or obligation. We're also going to send you a golden ticket there, which qualifies you for a $1,000 plan, a total retirement plan that will do it no cost for you and your family if you call right now.
919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Young takes the snap. Rams rush 4. Young fires a strike over the middle to Jalen Coker. First down at the 49-yard line of Carolina. Bryce delivers. Coker comes through again.
We have seen the Rams' best football, and they've been playing amazing. And I said, no one's seen our best yet. And while they still made yards and they still did things, our best football is still out there in front of us, and that's our goal, is to find it.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. While listening to that clip from Dave Canales, head coach of the Panthers, Dennis made a great point. I'm just gonna relay it. The irony of Dave Canales after the Rams game saying, we've seen the Rams' best, and we haven't seen our best. Our best is still ahead of it. And that was so obviously the best game that the Panthers played all year. We haven't seen our best yet, not 20 minutes after they saw the Panthers' absolute best. That was a fantastic game, and they're going to need that. I don't know if you follow the exact same blueprint because I'm guessing the Rams are going to be ready for it. But football at 4 today, we're going to parse through, particularly on defense, what the Panthers can take away from that Rams game. They defeated the Rams once, and try to use a morsel, a nugget of knowledge, a pearl of wisdom, if you will, from that game to do it again on Saturday. But first, I want to. Hopefully you will all indulge me for a little bit of time here because I want to dive into the quarterback nerd world. I played quarterback in college. I study quarterbacks. I have entire group chats dedicated just towards breaking down quarterback play. And, oh, my goodness, did you see this throw? Oh, my goodness, did you see this read? And clips and everything else. So I kind of got excited when everyone's talking about Bryce Young and the Panthers after they lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kurt Warner, NFL MVP, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, one of the coolest stories in sports history. Kurt Warner tweeted this out. I know Bryce Young has come a long way from his rookie year, but until he cleans up his feet in the pocket and learns to set strong and ready at the top of the drop, it will be really hard to take that next step. And he put an exclamation point there. It causes him to be late and miss a lot of throws, and with his limited arm strength, playing late is not a winning proposition a lot of the time. Exclamation point. Whew. Now, obviously, Kurt Warner ain't out there to make friends, right? He's just being honest. He's watching the game. He continued in a response to a Twitter follower of his. I think this is from Kurt Warner. I think he has enough arm, and you can make up for it with different things. But there are times where the ball hangs a little bit and he can't get proper power into his throws. This usually comes because he isn't using his body properly. And he is already smaller in stature, so he doesn't have that strength to make up for it like other guys. So technique needs to be stronger on more throws to lead him. Here's what I'm gonna say. Bryce Young is a product. He is of the era he was raised in, right? I mentioned I'm a quarterback nerd. I do a lot of pre-draft stuff for quarterbacks, just looking at tape and trying to get ready for who I would draft, right? Playing all that if I were a GM game. Bryce Young, if you look at the quarterbacks in like that 5 to 7 year period coming out of the draft, there's a lot of what they're describing. There's a lot of, quite frankly, players that grew up watching Patrick Mahomes. Like he was their North Star in high school and in college. Patrick Mahomes can do things that other people can't do, right? His footwork is not always clean. His improv is some of his best stuff. Throwing off platform, not having a firm base to power into your throw is a lot of what Aaron Rodgers did as his career went along, a lot of what Patrick Mahomes does, and those were the guys that people of Bryce Young's era grew up watching. Whereas the previous era grew up watching and idolizing the Bradys and the Peyton Mannings and 6'4", 6'5", laser rocket arm, stand in the pocket, make the throw, take the hit. So looking at what Bryce is doing is not, I don't think, a surprise. You add in the fact that he's a smaller guy, so he has to play on his tippy toes a bit more, which is what, quite frankly, smaller quarterbacks just do naturally. And you're going to have kind of an unfirm base. I do think, just to a little side note, I think it's swinging back in the other direction. I've watched a lot of Fernando Mendoza the last 2 days, just trying to again, get up and see what the top of the draft might look like. He would fit in 15 years ago. He's much more 6'5", 240, laser rocket arm, stepping up in the pocket rather than always escaping and trying to get the edge. Mm-hmm. I think it might be swinging back in the other direction as far as what these guys are going to look like, but maybe not. Might just be Fernando Mendoza as a throwback. Look at the quarterbacks kind of right before Bryce Young was the number 1 overall pick, right? There's a lot of Tuas. There's a lot of Kylers. There's a lot of smaller guys that in college got it with a lot of rhythm, a lot of anticipation, not a lot of watch how hard I can throw this, not a lot of fitting it into small windows, and that's what happens in the NFL. Now, here's the crazy part. Dan Orlovsky chimed in, right? Now, I'm not excusing him of any of this. I'm just saying I'm not surprised that somebody from Kurt Warner's era would watch the feat of somebody from this era or from Bryce's kind of 5 to 7 year period and go, I don't like the feat, because they weren't idolizing Dan Marino like Kurt Warner was.
Also, Orlovsky was on the call of the game too.
Correct. So Orlovsky chimes in. He responds to the original tweet from Kurt Warner and says this: "Still, years in, the thing he hasn't grown and developed," talking about his footwork, "sometimes gets away with it and sometimes doesn't. ... Do you know what I think is really interesting about this whole conversation? Bryce is finishing up year 3. That means he's had 2 NFL off seasons and 1 off season where he had Dave Canales as his coach before and Dave Canales with his coach after. I don't think you're changing footwork in season. I think you got to work on game plan. It takes 10,000 reps, right, to change a habit and all those things. I don't think you're doing it in season. But Canales can't, in my mind, see it as a problem like Warner and Orlovsky do, because there's a lot we don't know about Bryce, right? We don't know if he's the guy of the future. We don't know if he can be elite. We don't know if he can be consistent. We don't know. One thing that is pretty universally known about Bryce is the dude is a worker, right? He puts in the time, shows up early, leaves late, cares. This is not somebody who, would fail the Jamarcus Russell test where you give him a blank DVD and say, watch all of this at home. And then he comes in the next day saying he watched everything, even though it was a blank DVD. Like Bryce would go home, plug it in 2 seconds after walking into the door and be calling you going, I need you to, where can I pick it up? I need this one was blank. I don't think you burnt it. Let's get the DVD. Bryce will work on stuff. He'll fix it if that's what the coaches want him to do. If you think footwork is an issue, that's not like, well, let's tackle these 7 other things and then we'll get to the footwork. If you think footwork is an issue for a quarterback, priority number 1, everything builds from the ground up. And that's like athletes in general, right? That's not just baseball stance, ready position. Everything starts with your base.
Golf, boxing, hockey, all of it.
All of it. So if the coaches, any of them that he has had, or his quarterback gurus or anybody that he's worked with, think the footwork is an issue, I don't think it would still be an issue in year 3. I think he would be a much more structured drop back, bounce, throw, base player rather than it's kind of wishy-washy with his footwork, but that must be something that they're okay with.
So you go back to his draft profile 2023. I'm pulling this off of NFL.com. I'm going to go through some of those strengths and weaknesses. One of the weaknesses that was listed was leaves his lower half behind on drive throws at times, and also deep throws come out flat and lose energy late, which again, like you said, could be a byproduct of footwork, not having that strong base. All stuff Kurt Warner, which by the way, Kurt Warner actually did a YouTube video doing a film breakdown of Bryce Young. And so it's out there, and like he breaks down all the footwork stuff, and hey, if he was better base, he could make this throw or throw into this window, but he's not.
And this all comes back to what I started the conversation with, which is modeling aliens is a losing effort. Okay, stick with me. Alien is the highest form of compliment I give to athletes from a physical standpoint, right? If I call you an alien, it means you are unbelievably rare as an athlete. You can go find, speaking of YouTube videos, you can find a bunch of YouTube videos of Aaron Rodgers making throws where basically both his feet are off the ground. It's almost like jump throws, but he's going up on his tippy toes and he's throwing all arm. That's because he's an alien, right? The throws with Patrick Mahomes where he's going off platform, rolling left, snapping his arm back, throwing it like a shortstop and it's going 40 yards. That's not to be emulated. That's to be appreciated and looked at like a piece of art. Bryce can't do those things. And that's no disrespect to Bryce. There might only be 2 people on the planet that can do those, right? Don't try to be those unless you're wildly special, right? Something Caleb Williams might have some of that, like maybe. We'll see. But what Bryce probably needs to lock in on a bit is talking to guys like Kurt Warner. And I'm not saying exactly Kurt Warner, but getting with the more traditional quarterbacks and saying, all right, I don't have the strongest arm in the league. My brain works in a way that I understand what I'm seeing and I can make throws, and I've had some success. But in order to be more consistent, I need everything from the ground up to be more consistent. And maybe that's the lesson learned this year, and maybe it leads to, 20, 30,000 reps of drill work to get it to where it is a bit more predictable. It is a bit more stable. It's a bit more bag work, right? True quarterback nerds, the old Bob Johnson videos, like maybe it's some of that. Don't get rid of the special. Don't get rid of the improv. But just on plays that are more routine, be more routine. You ready for a Mike Tomlin quote? Do the routine things routinely.
It's true.
Right? I don't want to take away the Bryce special, okay? And I know every time I criticize Bryce, I get a herd of you tweeting at me individual plays of how many guys can make this throw, and it's a down the sideline throw to Coker, or it's something off balance to Tremble. And I get it. The non-highlight throws are the ones I worry about, right? There's not a lot of yak on the Panthers.
No.
That's partially on the receivers. Don't get me wrong. Not absolving blame. But yards after catch is much more a quarterback statistic than you think. Are they slowing down to catch it? Are they catching it upfield? Is it leading them to open parts of the field? That's the difference between mostly accurate and the best accuracy. And that might be the difference between being on a tippy toe with your chest exposed or stepping towards your target and ripping through.
By the way, one of the weaknesses also listed on Bryce Young's draft profile has a tendency to run receivers up against the boundary, which might prevent yards after catch. But also, everything we're talking about here, is it a coincidence that we've seen inconsistent play not just from him, but also from the offense as a whole this season?
Yeah. It's not a coincidence because in the NFL, one bad throw ruins a drive. Right? If it's 2nd and 8 and you miss by a foot and it's an incompletion, 3rd and 8 is really difficult. Even if that completion was only for 6 yards, right? 3rd and 2, now you're going for it on 4th. A whole world of opportunities opens up. It truly is a game of inches. I know it's a cliche, but it is.
Or one great throw picks up a big chunk play as opposed to settling for a field goal or punting. Now you're in the red zone touchdown. It's different.
Maybe the best example possible. The long catch by Tedero McMillan that set up the Jalen Coker touchdown at the end of the game against Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
If he has perhaps a slightly better base, gets a little bit more oomph on that throw, and it goes 2 or 3 yards further, instead of McMillan kind of slamming on the brakes and waiting for it, he's able to continue his momentum forward, catches it, jogs into the end zone. I don't even think he'd have to sprint if the ball's out ahead of him. Jogs into the end zone. You save all of that time, get the ball back earlier than whatever they had, 18 seconds after getting the stop, and the entire game is different. So maybe that MVP Hall of Famer Kurt Warner was onto something. Maybe that guy knows a little bit about football. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Here's one for you. Maybe Mainer Services, if there were a Hall of Fame for technicians, maybe those Hall of Famers know something about keeping your house up and running the way it should. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical. Right, those are like the offensive linemen of your house, right? You walk in, what does everybody go? Oh, my goodness, the natural light. Oh, the high ceilings. Oh, look at that, the stainless steel appliances. That's like the wide receivers and quarterbacks, right? That's just for flash. The offensive linemen are the heating system, the cooling system, the plumbing, and the electrical. They're the ones that are doing the dirty work to make sure your house is comfortable. And I guess that makes Mainer Service Company like the best offensive line coach in the league. They're just going to get your offensive line running well so you don't talk about them, right? The best offensive lineman at the end of the game, you've never said their name. They've just done their job, and you've never had to say, ooh, got beat, or oh, sack given up by. Same thing, right? The best heating systems and cooling systems, you don't talk about for years. You just turn them on when it's cold or hot and correct the temperature in your house and move on with your day. Mainer Service Company, they're the coaches that make sure that happens. Give them a call for service and, obviously, when something breaks down and you need that repair. The number is 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online, MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. The Dean's List is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Before you tour a home, the real estate professional you're working with may ask you to sign a buyer's agreement, which describes the services you'll receive, each party's role and responsibilities, and how your agent will be compensated, all of which you'll want to discuss with them up front. So work with an agent who's a Realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors with a duty to honestly represent you and put your interests above their own, because that's who we are.
When sleep isn't working, everything feels harder. Your health, your patience, your focus, even your relationships. I'm Megan Giggling with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Too often, people are told to wait months or even years just to talk to a sleep specialist. But untreated sleep problems don't wait. At Parkway, care begins within weeks with home sleep studies and fast, coordinated support so people can move forward instead of staying stuck. Better sleep changes everything.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Stay informed with The Rundown, the daily newsletter from High School OT that delivers high school sports news and insights straight to your inbox. Brought to you by High School OT and powered by our sponsors, First Carolina Bank and Smith Douglas Homes. Subscribe to The Rundown at highschoolot.com.
Wilson takes the snap, runs up the middle, charges, backward, goal line, touchdown. 3-yarder, Will Wilson, his 4th rush TD of the ball game.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We do have the Canes game right here on 99.9 later on today. That is also on our app, the 99.9 The Fan app, which you can download at the Google Play or App Store. We appreciate all 5-star ratings and positive reviews. Also on the app and the website. Dennis, I believe it's up and running now. Can we tell them about the giveaway of a particular helmet?
Say that again?
I believe we have a giveaway on 99
on the app?
On the app and the website.
Okay.
For a particular helmet.
Maybe.
Should I perhaps tease this and then make sure that we're allowed to say it on air before we say it on air?
I know we gave something certain way on Panthers Playbook a little recently.
Okay, well, you can talk about that, and then I may add to it. I may not.
We gave away a Jimmy Horn Jr. signed mini helmet on Panthers Playbook just before or right around the holiday time.
All right, that's not what I was thinking of.
Okay.
So I'll do some during next commercial break. This will be a little tease.
Oh, it's actually
okay. I'm not crazy here.
It's not a helmet.
Okay,
but it is a signed item from a current Carolina Panther.
Okay, that's
that
closer
has
to what I'm
a very local tie.
All right, I think we're all on the same page now.
Are we?
I think. We'll double check.
It's like we're having a production meeting rather than
it's not a production meeting.
Air. We're having a production meeting.
I get very, very nervous when we have giveaways and things. No, okay, we can talk about it because it's online. Yeah. There is an Ike Ekwonu signed football that we are giving away. Ike Ekwonu, starting left tackle, maybe about to be really rich.
Could be.
Charles Cross, tackle from Ike Ekwonu's draft class, playing for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes, he actually missed the game against Carolina, by the way.
Just got paid.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah.
I missed that.
We're talking, I believe, total value, a decent amount over $100 million. So if you're looking at what potential Ike Ekwonu deals could be, that's probably helping determine the market. So Ike Ekwonu, autographed football being given away, 999thefan.com and the 99.9 The Fan app. Just go to the little tabs that say win stuff.
So he signed a 4-year, $104.4 million deal, including $75 million in guaranteed money. That's $26.1 million a year.
That is the highest non-quarterback contract I believe the Seahawks have ever given.
It is, on top of the 5th-year option as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So market being established for players drafted in that draft class that play that position for Ike Ekwonu.
Okay.
He'll be putting his hand out and probably saying, you saw what Cross got, which is just what agents do.
We'll start there.
Yes. And you can start perhaps with a football signed by Ike Ekwonu, who did play his college ball at NC State.
That's right.
So That's happening. 999thefan.com or the 999thefan app, Win Stuff tab. And I apologize for the confusion at the beginning. I never like spoiling surprises that I'm not supposed to spoil, so I just wanted to make sure.
That's fair.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 999 The Fan. Let's fire up the Dean's List. Dean's List, where we highlight those in the college sports world that deserve a little extra praise. All right, this one probably stings for NC State fans, but just know that I wear a hat that I call my lead activist for players' rights hat. I'm putting Hollywood Smothers and Terrell Anderson on the Dean's List. They transferred they went into the portal from NC State. Smothers has committed to Alabama. Terrell Anderson is committed to USC. That's Southern Cal. Every time a player goes into the portal, I worry about them. I know I shouldn't. They're adults. They can make their own decisions. But I worry that they got bad advice from someone, that some agent is swindling them, and that maybe they'll get into the portal and the market won't be what they thought, and they're going to have regrets about leaving. It's just I don't know. I always root for the players. So I'm sure they both got paid a good amount of money and at least landed somewhere where they're going to have opportunities. So I know it stinks for State. I know replacing those guys won't be easy. But I just worry. I worry about the players, so I'm glad they landed on their feet. Now, next up, speaking of transfer portal, Byron Brown, local guy, played high school in the area. He spent the last 4 years at South Florida, USF. He is committed to Auburn out of the transfer portal, according to his agency, Rosenhaus Sports.
Nice.
Where he follows his coach, USF coach, Alex Golesh, left USF to go to Auburn. And the reports are that he will be among the highest paid players in the sport next season.
Good for him.
This is why the portal exists. I'm going to give you Byron Brown's little story here. Played high school, had some ballers on his team. Noah Rogers, who was a 5-star receiver. Very good. Did not get the super high major offers. USF took a chance on him. He passed on portal opportunities for 4 years. He played 4 years at USF with injuries and a redshirt year, but he had chances to leave and didn't for 4 years. Becomes a great player through his work and the team developing him. Becomes a great player. Wins some program highlight games, right? They won, 2 or 3 consecutive games against ranked opponents this year. Beat Florida, won some real games. Highlights for USF. After 4 years, which is really what I think the max you could expect a player to commit, right? 4 years of college makes sense. After 4 years, his coach leaves. Instead of sticking around and being a part of a transition, he follows the coach, cashes in for life-changing money, gets to test himself against a power conference, potentially show the NFL that he's ready. That is, to me, what the portal exists for, and it's why you have to put up with some of the guys that abuse it, because guys like Byron Brown deserve to have that opportunity, and if you bar it, if you make it not allowed because the others are abusing it, guys like Brown wouldn't get to it as well. Do you have any you'd like to add to the Dean's List?
I do. ACC basketball.
There you go.
You got a top 20 matchup tonight, Duke and Louisville. This is where the ACC needs to be. With so many teams that they have ranked now, they need to be. For example, we don't have, outside of, obviously locally, we have the Carolina Hurricanes, but from a national perspective, there isn't a whole lot going on tonight. Maybe there's some NBA games and all that kind of stuff. This is where college basketball and ACC basketball needs to shine, is on days like today, nights like tonight. So, yeah, ACC basketball.
Speaking of, this will be my last one here, but I just like it. I like to highlight good dudes. Louisville's Michael Brown Jr. not playing tonight against Duke, so that top 20 matchup won't have one of the more talented players. Back injury. He's been out a couple games. I wanted to see if he was coming back because there were some talks about perhaps him being available. So I was looking it up, and I found a tweet. So he hurt his back and apparently has had some setbacks with it, which is why he continues to be out. He tweeted, this is straight from Michael Brown. Just to set the record straight, my back injury, all caps, did not happen in the weight room. This situation is something that happened before the Memphis game, and I took some hard falls in that Memphis game that made it worse. Coach Eli is my guy. He hasn't and will never do anything to put my health at risk. He has been the main person working with me every day to get back on the court as soon as possible. I had to let everyone know the truth. I'll be back soon. I think this is a good lesson for athletes in college, which is you can just say the thing you want to say, especially if it's protecting somebody who you care about. Strength and conditioning coaches are, in my experience, pretty awesome, right? They are dudes. They're grinding with you all offseason. A lot of times you spend more time with them than you do like your own coach because the offseason is longer than the in-season. And if you see some people out there blaming them for things, you can just come out and say, nope, not how it happened, and end that, which is good because that kind of stuff follows strength and conditioning coaches. If guys are getting hurt a lot in their weight room, that sticks with you. So this puts an end to that. Obviously, we always root local. I'm not rooting for Louisville. But Michael Brown Jr., you're a decent dude in my book. Dean's List. That's it for the Dean's List. Dismissed.
Can I give you a real quick NFL note here for you real fast?
Sure, why not?
So, a couple NFL related. The Washington Commanders have fired their defensive coordinator, Joe Witt Jr., and have mutually agreed to part ways with offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury.
I knew that the Cliff Kingsbury thing happened. I saw that. Didn't see the Joe Witt Jr. thing. Are you ready for my very sports radio-y, probably will never happen, but I'm gonna say that it's an awesome situation that could potentially happen, but it probably will never?
Go on.
Cliff Kingsbury. Mm-hmm. So Matt Nagy, the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, is interviewing for the Titans head coaching job. Mm-hmm. He gets a head coaching job. I don't care which one. Cliff Kingsbury, who coached Pat Mahomes in college, becomes the OC for the Chiefs to reunite with Pat and head coach in waiting for when Andy Reid eventually retires because he's nearing 70. And then it becomes almost a co-ownership of the team with Mahomes and Cliff as Andy Reid moves on and they transition into the next part of what will be, the how high does Pat Mahomes go in the Mount Rushmore part of his career coming back from the injury.
Interesting.
Probably will never happen, but if it does, you heard it here first.
That's right. Oh, also as well, quick Carolina Panthers note, practice-wise today. Turk Wharton, defensive lineman, as well as Claude Cherlis, inside linebacker, back at practice today. So all 52 players on the main roster. We didn't dive into like Hunter Renfrow getting released today and all that, but all their 52-man roster currently, they have a roster spot available. Chandler Zavala back at practice, as is Robert Hunt.
Ooh.
So Robert Hunt practicing out there today as well.
I thought that might be coming just reading the tea leaves because the Panthers activated David Moore off IR.
Yep.
They waived Damani Richardson, young
safety.
Defensive back, and they also waived Hunter Renfrow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, David Moore would only be one person going on the roster, and that'd be two people waived, which means there's a roster spot there available for perhaps Robert Hunt.
Which would be awesome.
Which would be, as Dennis put it so eloquently, and I agree, awesome. Like, that doesn't have to be more complicated than that. He's just a really good player, and it'd be awesome to have him back. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I could do the exact same treatment for Miller Lending. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. They're awesome. And I could leave it at that, but instead, I'll give you a little bit more. At the peak of the recent spike of mortgage rates, around 8%. Since then, it's dropped almost 2 full points. So there's kind of two ways to go about it, right? When rates were 8, if you had to get a mortgage, right, you needed a new house, you had to upsize, downsize, move for work, whatever, you needed a mortgage, you could have locked in the 8% with Miller Lending and something called a no-cost loan and be prepared to use another no-closing cost, no-cost loan to refi if and or when rates dropped. Or when you had the 8% rate, you could have paid thousands and thousands of dollars to buy it down to a 6% rate. Well, guess what? If you paid thousands and thousands of dollars to buy it down, you would have gained nearly nothing in the year or year and a half that you used that rate before the market got down to right where you were. If you went to Miller Lending, got a mortgage, no closing costs, 8% with the idea that if and or when it dropped, you'd refinance. You'd have refinanced twice, again, no cost, no fees either time, and you'd have the same rate as your friend that paid all those thousands of dollars to get it down. Think about it. If you have more questions, give them a call. That's just one situation would have benefited you. It's just, nearly not even hypothetical, right? It's like exactly what just happened. But if you want to learn more, if you want to learn about your situation and how a no closing cost loan may help, give them a call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, the podium. Who won and lost the last week, who gets the gold, and so on from the 4 teams in the state of North Carolina that are in the ACC. Stick around.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What, you expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $6.99. That's right, just $6.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always bow time.
What's this?
We're expanding the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club.
That's a pretty big wrecking ball.
Well, with all these new scratch-offs, this place is going to be packed with new winners. Okay, let's go ahead and knock this wall down. This is where we're putting the polo field. Whoa, patience, Trixie.
This month's tickets are loaded with $90 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.35 to 4.68. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Cam to the corner. Foster thinking about it. Cameron will launch. Bang!
The driver, Tim Donnelly. 99.9 The Fan. There's a lot going on, and one of those things going on right now is college basketball. Top 25 matchup between Duke and Louisville tonight. NC State also at Boston College. They're going to need to start picking it up. Definitely a must-have win tonight against BC for State as they mount a little turnaround, hopefully, to get near the closer to, at least, the top of the ACC. All of that plays into how we decide who gets the gold on the podium. Give me my dramatic music. There it is. Podium is very simple. It is a 1-week award, so this one is all about what's happened since last Tuesday afternoon. You look at men's basketball and football. I combined the two. Over the last week, who gets the gold, silver, bronze, and who is off the podium for the schools in the state of North Carolina that play in the ACC Power Conference. We'll start off the podium. Carolina Tar Heels. They did beat Florida State 79-66, which is solid, right? That's what you should do against a Florida State team that isn't that impressive this year. And UNC, for my money, is one of the best teams in the ACC, maybe the country. But then on Saturday, that was last Tuesday, by the way. On Saturday, they went to SMU and kind of got smoked. Lost 97-83. They gave up 97. And it was the first time, really, that Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar didn't look like superheroes in the post. Their performances were okay, but if you're going to give up 97, you're going to need significantly more than okay from your two best players, two big guys. So not the best week. A lot of opportunity to improve. Not panicking at all, but they're off the podium. And they didn't play in football, obviously. Didn't make a bowl game. Did get some transfer portal news, but I'm not going into transfer portal news for the podium.
Yeah, how are you going to rate that?
Melkart Abu Jaude, former Delaware Blue Hen, did announce he's returning to UNC after leading the ACC in sacks last year for the Tar Heels. Just tell everybody you were developed at Delaware, and then you can have all the success you want at UNC. Thank you. Bronze, NC State. Last Wednesday, they did beat Wake Forest 70-57, and that 57 is impressive. It was one of, maybe with the Ole Miss game, their kind of stronger performances as far as what Will Wade seems to be screaming for: aggression, anger, edge, toughness, all those things, effort. So that was a really good win. That was last Wednesday. But then on Saturday, they lost to Virginia. Dennis, you were in attendance for that one. Do you want to give us a Cliff Notes?
It was a dud. In all honesty, because it felt like NC State didn't have an answer as a whole. I know they had early in the second half, they had that little bit of a stretch where they kind of got hot and got it down to like 7 or 8. But then they just couldn't sustain that little bit of a stretch, and Virginia easily took back control, and what was a 20-point halftime deficit all of a sudden was like a 27-point Virginia lead. It's like, well, wait a second. You guys got it down to single digits, and then you just let Virginia run away with it. That, 15, 16-point margin? It really wasn't that close. Outside of, again, a hot little stretch for NC State on Saturday. Otherwise, it was a dud. It was a dud of a game.
That's how you end up in bronze. Silver, Duke. Last Wednesday beat Georgia Tech 85-79. On Saturday, they beat Florida State on the road 91-87. Both teams that they played scored above their season average. So the defense is something that I'm looking to improve for Duke, at least on their most recent outings. Now, 2 wins. Like, a win is a win is a win is a win. Dom Toretto, first Fast and the Furious. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, winning's winning. But I would say a little bit underwhelming wins for what I consider one of the top 5 teams in the country. So they end up in silver on the podium. And then gold goes to Wake Forest. They split in basketball. They lost at NC State, only scored 57. That's not great. But on Saturday, they did beat Virginia Tech, a Virginia Tech team that's showing signs of life.
That beat Virginia.
And Virginia is one of the better teams now ranked in the top 25. 81-78 was the score there. It was an exciting game. Virginia Tech apparently only plays exciting games. Their Virginia game went to like 3 overtimes. But that's a good win for Wake. And then their football team won the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Beat Mississippi State 43-29.
They defended the state of North Carolina well.
Jake Dickert is 9-4 in his first year as coach.
Props, man.
And have won games in a million different ways. They won games that look like baseball scores, and now they're winning games that look like darn near basketball halftime scores, 43-29. Like, they've done it in a bunch of different ways. Damon Claiborne didn't play in this one. I think he this season and last season has been the best player on their offense. He opted out, going pro. And then, Dennis, let me ask you this. Do we give Wake Forest positives or negative for Dickert and he brought his kids up on stage, taking the Mayo bath like a champ?
The fact that he brought his kids up there to do it?
The fact that, and some guys do it reluctantly. Some are in there a little too happy. What? He was into it.
Lean into it. Hey, kids, you want to do dunked in mayo? Yeah, sure. It's a fun little experience. Have fun with it. Enjoy it.
Do you know what's my one question for the Duke's Mayo Bowl?
What's that?
How do they make it so liquidy? Like mayo.
They add a bunch of water to
do they?
They basically water it down, yeah.
All right, that makes more sense. Because to me, like, if you turn a jar of mayo over, it's like turning a blizzard over. Like, nothing falls out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be really anticlimactic sitting there. They got to, like, get a big knife and scoop it out and smear it on like you're making a sandwich.
Gross.
I'm not a mayo fan.
I hate mayonnaise.
So I would need.
I said that. I hate mayonnaise.
So do I. I'm not. It's a texture. It's a taste. It's all of it. It's just no good. If I were in the Dukes Mayo Bowl, though, you'd have to wear one for the team. But I would definitely be like, all right, as soon as I get this Mayo bath, no more interviews. No more. I'm not high-fiving anybody. I'm straight to the showers. So all communication I need to do is pre-Mayo bath. Then I'll do the little song and dance for you, but I'm out. Congrats to Wake. No Mayo bath coming with a gold medal on the podium. Do you have a gold star that you want to throw out here? I almost forgot.
Gold star. There are definitely some options that we can have here for the gold star. The one downside here is the fact that obviously with the holiday and all that kind of stuff is it's a little bit difficult to try and nail down like who's playing at what times and all those kinds of things. But we're going to throw a gold star out from this past week. Campbell men's basketball.
All right.
That's right, Campbell. Not only did they have
roll
one
hoops,
they won on the road, beat Monmouth. They also beat Northeastern, so they went 2-0 on the week in men's basketball. But also you got to look at if you also just kind of give a shout out to Coach Anderchek and what they're doing down there in Bowie's Creek. They went and played at Wake Forest. They played at Penn State. They played at Minnesota. They played against Gonzaga. They played against some tough
at Wisconsin,
teams.
At West Virginia, at Wake Forest, at Penn State, at Gonzaga, at Minnesota. I've said this before. I think that's a smart deal. First year coach takes over. You have to imagine your job security is not 1 year if you have a bad win-loss record. So with that little bit of leash, get as many pay games as you can so you can go into your second year with NIL funds that you've never even dreamed of. Because you have all these big paydays from these teams you went on the road to play, and you might get a program-changing win or at least some confidence if you play well against some of those teams. I wouldn't say they hung tough with many of them, but like West Virginia, they lost by 8. That's close. I like what Anderchek is doing there in the first year.
Also, you got to keep in mind as well for a guy like him, as a coach like Anderchek, is that there might be like the 9th guy on the bench for one of these big programs that they're playing against and be like, oh, they can play a pretty fun brand of basketball. If the portal and stuff opens up, I'm going to keep them in mind. It's just like little things like that. It's just, hey, all of a sudden you get the 10th guy at Wisconsin or whatever transfers to you the next year because you made a good impression, even in a losing effort. That's how you continue to raise the floor of your program. So yeah, Campbell men's basketball, gold star.
There you go. That's the podium here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. For Football at 4, which is up next, we look at the last time the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Rams played each other. Wasn't that long ago, and the Panthers won. How does that impact the playoffs? Next.
First Carolina Bank, we pride ourselves on building relationships and doing the day-to-day things in banking extremely well. Experience the First Carolina way for yourself or your business today. Visit firstcarolinabank.com. First Carolina Bank, member FDIC.
Hey folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. It's the new year, 2026 is upon us. I know you're listening to this and you've already thought about what you want to do for your weight loss goal this year. Eating healthier, losing weight, getting in better shape, all those things. Look no further than Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Their program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center has helped thousands of people lose 10 to 20% of their body weight in 60 days. I'm one of those people. I lost over 40 pounds thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and most importantly, I've maintained the weight that I've lost. That was over 15% of my body weight that I lost thanks to the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Schedule your free 15-minute phone call to learn more. Call Raleigh Weight Loss Center at 919-897-7506 or visit them online at RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. 919-897-7506, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up that free 15-minute phone call. Get on that weight loss journey to start the new year and visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
Avatar Fire and Ash has arrived.
I am the fire!
Get your 3D tickets now for the greatest chapter of the biggest saga in history.
Whatever happens, protect his family.
Critics rave it's by far the best Avatar movie.
If your father and I do not return, you go as far and as fast as you can.
Movies don't get any bigger than this. Avatar Fire and Ash. Rated PG-13. Now playing.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Our warm-up continues today. High temperatures in the mid-60s. We'll see high thin clouds through the afternoon. It's a nice mild night tonight. You don't need your heavy winter coat tomorrow morning. We'll see a low near 50 degrees. And a warm afternoon tomorrow, too. Partly cloudy with a high of 70.
Four o'clock check of your money here on The Fan. At the closing bell, Dow Jones up 484 points today to 49,462.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
Football at 4. Have you heard, everybody? The Carolina Panthers in the playoffs.
Let's go. Let's go.
It feels a bit like it feels a bit like I have to say that like every 20 minutes just so people are like, was I dreaming, or are the Panthers in the playoffs?
It's real.
Yeah, I just want to keep confirming it to you so you don't walk around in a stupor or a haze. Wait, last I remember they started 0-2. They lost three of their first four.
They lost three of the last four.
They ended on a 2-game losing streak. They're in the playoffs? It's like, yeah, they're in the playoffs. We're going to have to wrap it. By Wednesday, we have to have accepted it.
You know, it's amazing. They lost their first 2 games, including 3 of their first 4, and then they ended the season, like you said, losing their last 2 games, including 3 of their last 4.
They had a 3-game win streak, what was it, weeks 5 to 7?
Yes.
If they would have lost week 6, I believe their season would be a palindrome. It would be loss, win, loss, alternating all the way until it ended reverse, loss, win, loss. It's a weird season, but they're in the postseason. And just an added like wrinkle, right? This is the screenwriter who's just in their bag and just wants to be like, oh, and by the way, the cab driver from the second minute of the movie, it was the bad guy the whole time. Like, just the little extra wrinkle is they beat the Rams. They're playing the Rams in their first postseason game in years, and November 30th, not like a long time ago, November 30th, they beat the Rams at home. They're playing the Rams to open the postseason at home. So part of me thinks, I don't want to oversimplify it, but part of me thinks you go look at what you did well in that game and go, do it again. Right? This is how we can make it happen. Now, I don't think it's that simple, and I think the Rams are smart enough to adjust and figure out, and they know your team better, and you know their team better, and both teams have players back from injury and a whole bunch of other things. But if there's a lesson, maybe not a schematic deal, but a lesson, I think I can help you find it. But first, let's hear from Dave Canales, because yesterday, Monday, he was asked how much you can take away, how much they can take away from the first Rams matchup.
We had good information. Use the information from the first matchup to see, how we were trying to attack and to react to different scenarios, and make sure that we're on top of that. And obviously expect, there will be some wrinkles, and we understand that part of it. But when you play a team the second time, there should be a little bit of confidence for things that are similar. Things that they may try to recreate in some way, shape, or form. And, and the fact that we were able to come away with the win should give confidence as well. If we do our job, if we do right, and we play well together, we can win, but it's going to take all of our focus and all that. And, we certainly have seen them, bounce back and really, get back to playing their rhythmic football and Matthew taking care of the ball, the run game going the way that they see it going. And defensively speaking, they've been really consistent. And, so we just have to take all the information in from these past couple of weeks and make sure that, we revisit some of the things that were successful for us, and also just be ready for adjustments.
lot of I would say coach speaky answers there, but I'm going to try to dive in a bit further. I went back and I did some analytics deep dives, or just I looked at stats is another way to say that, for Week 13, which is the week that the Panthers beat the Rams. The pass rush was not good. Now, that is not new. That is not a novel thing for Week 13. The Carolina Panthers do not have a good pass rush this year. In that Week 13, they were 15th in blitz rate, which is middle of the pack, obviously, right? 15th in blitz rate, but they were dead last in QB pressure rate. They got a pressure on Matt Stafford just 13.3% of the time. That is 4 quarterback pressures on 30 pass plays. 4 out of 30.
Not great, Bob.
Not great, Bob. But 2 sacks, forced Matt Stafford into a lost fumble and 2 interceptions, including a pick 6. That's the lesson. You're not going to, and I say this lovingly, I'm a big fan of a lot of players on the Panthers. You're not going to be the more talented or more complete roster on the field on Saturday. You will not get consistent pressure on Matt Stafford. You will not do the things that most teams try to do to disrupt a future Hall of Fame quarterback, which is hit them a bunch of times, keep trash at their feet, make the pocket collapse. That's what you want to do. You're not going to. You're not suddenly going to become a different team than you were for 17 games. You will not get consistent pressure on Matt Stafford. And how about this? He will tear you apart if you give him time. Unless, on the few plays that you get an advantage, on the few plays that you can beat the offense with scheme, that you can get a one-on-one win, on the few plays that Nick Scorton can have a ridiculous get-off, on the few plays that you decide to bring Trayvon Merrick off the edge, on the few plays you get an advantage, you take full advantage and win those plays by a billion. If Matt Stafford is picking you apart and it's 12 yards to Puka Nacua, 6 yards to Kyron Williams out of the backfield, run up the middle for the first down. Here's Devontae Adams on the sideline for 14. And it's like, all right, he just got the better of you on 4 or 5 straight plays. But if you get the better of him on the 6th, and you don't just get the better of him with forcing him into a throwaway. You don't just get the better of him with forcing him to throw it a little bit earlier so it's an incompletion. You get the better of him in like Mike Jackson intercepts it and runs it back for a touchdown. That's how you do it. Take chances. Take chances. Go for the big play. Go for the knockout. That's how you can win this game. Right? I referenced this last 2 weeks ago, I think. The scene from Ocean's 11 where Danny Ocean, a.k.a. George Clooney, is teaching poker to like Topher Grace and the guy that played Charlie Conway in Mighty Ducks. And he's going like, the house has the odds. The house has oftentimes they're just going to nickel and dime you. They're going to take your money unless on one of the few hands where you can tilt the odds ever so slightly in your favor, you go all in and you take them for all the money you possibly can. That's how the Panthers have to think. The Rams have the odds. They're a 10-point favorite. Right? The sports books don't throw that out there on a whim, right? They have their equations. The Panthers are a massive underdog. The Rams are the house. They have the odds tilted in their favor unless on the few plays, particularly when the Panthers defense is out there, on the few plays where they get the upper hand, if they go all in and they don't win $2, right? They don't win, oh, look at that, I won 15, nice. That's going to pay for parking. On the few plays where they get the upper hand, they put the mortgage on it, right? They start looking around to all their friends. How much money do you have in your pockets? Put it down right now because I'm going for it. They have to be card counters. And Evero, the defensive coordinator, has to sense that. Right? Every quarterback, I don't care, like Peyton Manning threw an interception in the Super Bowl to Tracy Porter of the Saints, and he ran it back to end the game. Patrick Mahomes has thrown back-breaking interceptions in big games. The biggest, best quarterbacks in the world, they may not be vulnerable often, but when they are, the defense has to pounce. How many times have we seen it? And the answer is unlimited, right? Where a great quarterback gets away with throwing a turnover-worthy ball.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next play, it's a dime 60 yards downfield for the touchdown. And you're like, you shouldn't have given them that second life. The Panthers, when they have those chances, cannot give them second life. So, yeah, I am advocating to take some chances. I am advocating to try to jump a route if you can. Will you potentially get burned on a double move? Maybe. But were they going to score anyway? Perhaps. You know what I mean?
Let's not forget, the Rams did score 28 points and move the ball effectively for pretty much the entire game. Let's not forget as well is that they ran the ball extremely well. Blake Corum and Kyron Williams combined for 151 yards on 20 carries between the two of them and 2 touchdowns. Like, they ran the ball extremely well. It was just the turnovers were the difference in the game. That's really it. That's what it came down to.
I think the Rams – actually, I can give you the exact number. The Rams ran 51 plays. I think they were probably the better unit on the field for 45 of them.
Yeah.
Of the remaining 6, 3 of them changed the game in favor for the Panthers. The 2 picks, including the pick 6, and the fumble by Stafford that the Panthers were able to recover. I'm not kidding on this. I think part of it is being self-aware enough to look at yourself in the mirror and go, they might be a more complete team than us. How can we David and Goliath this thing, right? How can we have the few plays that swing it majorly in our favor, knowing that a bunch of the other plays, it's going to swing it minorly in their favor? Take the chance. I want J.C. Horn going for the ball. Ball in the air, it's yours.
He and Trayvon Merrick did not play in that first matchup, by the way. Neither did Christian Roseboom.
Who, by the way, Roseboom gets his hand on the ball a little bit recently.
Yeah, no.
Go for it. Go for it.
Do you think Evero has it in him, the defensive coordinator for the Panthers? Do you think he has it in him to blitz more often or finding different ways to get pressure? Do you think he'll deviate? Because we've been clamoring in his system for a couple of years now. Can you find ways to add more pressure? Can you find ways to generate that? And he didn't really do it during the regular season super often. Do you really think he would deviate now?
As far as do I think it will happen? Like if I were if this were a copper drop, I would drop it. But I will say this: sometimes you get to the playoffs and people get squirrely, right? It's now you're playing
sometimes too squirrely.
It's true. You end up with a flea flicker on the 20. But sometimes it's like now it's gravy. It's like, what do we have to lose, right? Nobody thought we'd be here, and you play a little bit more aggressive. Perhaps Evero is already kind of like, hey, let's see what happens here, fellas. I will say this: Evero's name is like 10th on the odds for a bunch of head coaching.
Really?
Yeah. He's not top 5, right? He's not like one of the favorites, but he's like 12th for a lot of them if you look at the odds on who's going to be the next head coach. So maybe he's looking for his Heisman moment, right? The play call that makes the opposing team's GM go, you know who would be a good head coach? The guy that dialed up that safety blitz, that rocked Stafford, forced the fumble, scooped up by Princely Uman Mielen, who Dion high-stepped into the end zone. Again, if that happens, I'm buying a lotto ticket. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis Cox has something for you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. The best financial move you can make this time of year? Well, how about lowering your mortgage rate down to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it all right now by giving Loan Pronto a call. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get out a ton of cash. You can pay off all those high-interest credit cards and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans and saved $2,100 a month. Don't wait, folks. There's no hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out all higher interest debt and lowering your bills by thousands. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I talked about if we did Copper Drop a second ago. Let's get rid of the if and play Copper Drop next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Dallas.
Rebound comes across, and they'll score! Eric Robinson!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck Drop at 7.
Now here comes Svechnikov with a turnover. He scores! That's the magic of Andrei Svechnikov!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. During hockey season, I'm bouncing from coast to coast like a puck on ice. But when I'm back in town, I always head to Buffalo Brothers for the best wings on the planet. And check this out. Now they have a new flavor, chili lime. You can't beat the great specials at all 5 Triangle locations, like half-price pizzas, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6. You can dine in or carry out. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Across Ehlers back, they score! On the power play! A beautiful pass, Nikolai Ehlers, and Andrei Svechnikov buries it!
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. You just heard a highlight from the Carolina Hurricanes. They're taking on the Dallas Stars and Mikko Rantanen. Boo! And Mikko Rantanen on in the Lenovo Center later today. There it is. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. We encourage you to do so. Mike Maniscalco, who is on the call, North Carolina State Broadcaster of the Year.
Let's go.
That announced yesterday. So make him feel real loved. Big win for the Big Rig. With all that being said, right now here on The Drive, which you can also hear on the 99.9 The Fan app, just like the game, it's time to play a little Copper Drop.
You want true enlightenment? Well, I'm dropping.
All right, real quick, speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes, tonight we're going to see Seth Jarvis returning back to the lineup. They've recently acquired Noah Phillip, and they're claiming him off waivers from the Edmonton Oilers. Phillip's going to be centering the fourth line tonight, which means both Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Mark Jankowski, healthy extras among the forwards tonight. Cop or drop, one of those two players is traded by the trade deadline. Cop or drop.
Kotkaniemi or Jankowski?
Yep, one of those two.
I mean, I think of the two, Kotkaniemi would be the one. I think he'd bring back more. He has more name recognition, the salary. Jankowski, I think, is kind of somebody that the Canes really like having around. Can play center, can play wing, brings a little bit of size. I just think he's more affordable. I do want to have a conversation about this whole situation with them being out tonight, but I will cop.
That one of them will get traded?
One of them will be traded. It's just starting to feel like something has to happen right? Just, some of the results that they've had recently. I just think something has to happen in those two, like one of them, right? It just kind of makes sense. A lot of times when you're trading, particularly if they end up trading for a center, the opposing team needs a body that they can put at the center position, and obviously Jankowski and Kokoniemi would fit that. I very rarely get overly critical about lines or start-sit decisions or any of that for the Canes, because I think it's such a long season. We never know the true reason behind it, right? Could just be someone needs a break. Could be someone had a couple rough practices. They want to try something new. Like, I don't always think it's a huge, vendetta against a player. I think I would have liked to see Kokoniemi and maybe Jankowski in this one for this reason. Noah Philp doesn't feel personally attacked by Mikko Rantanen. He wasn't around, right?
Well, neither was Jankowski.
True, but Jankowski at least, Philp just showed up. At least Jankowski, and these are my guys, right? I've been with them. I've been fighting battles. They, an enemy of my enemy is my enemy, or an enemy of my friend is my enemy. I think I said that right the second time.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend?
The enemy of my friend
is my enemy. Yeah.
Is what I was trying to say. I don't know if... Anyway.
Nailed it.
You know what I meant.
Did I?
Kokoniemi, I do think tonight might get chippy, right?
Very well could. Very well could.
And we have the footage from the Seth Jarvis Amazon episode on Face Off, where they found out that Mikko Rantanen was being traded to Dallas, and the very first thing Kokoniemi said to Jarvis was, "Is this our fault?" Which was funny for comedic timing, but also every joke comes with a hint of truth, right? Like Kokoniemi, if it gets chippy, I think he's the one that would be, I always say this, the person that wins a fight is usually the person that wants to be in the fight the most. If anyone's ever in a fight reluctantly, they usually don't do well. And I'm not just talking hockey fights, I'm talking fights. If there's something going down, I think Kokoniemi's going to want to be in that fight, and he's probably going to be up in the booth behind the media watching the game with Jankowski and, I don't know, Pyotr Kochetkov if he's up there. I think looking personally, like in a human form at the players, I wanted Kokoniemi out there. But that's just me. I don't like getting super critical about start-sits and lineup decisions because you don't know the actual, motivations.
All right, next one here. Let's go actually Carolina Panthers real quick. Cop or drop? We saw Seattle Seahawks left tackle Charles Cross get paid. He was drafted the same year as Ike Ekwonu, 2022. Got a 4-year, $104.4 million contract extension with the Seahawks. That was announced earlier today. Cop or drop? Ike Ekwonu, starting left tackle for the Carolina Panthers, gets a big contract extension this offseason. Cop or drop?
The big contract. Can I have a clarification on what big means? Over $20 million a year, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he gets the same guarantees.
Market rate, basically.
Yeah, I think he gets an extension this offseason. The one thing I will give Cross, and I looked this up earlier, Cross has been exceptionally durable. Played huge amounts of offensive snap percentage every year he's played with the Seahawks. Meanwhile, Ike, for a bunch of different reasons, has kind of been in and out of the lineup.
Cross did miss the game against the Panthers.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I looked up snap percentage, which doesn't include games you missed.
Yeah.
So perhaps he did miss some games. And the games he's played huge amounts of snaps. But you're right, missing games wouldn't show up there. So I will take back what I said about his durability. That was poor research on my part. Listen, I think Ike has shown, the physical ability to play at this level, and the Panthers can't, they're just getting to the point where they're competitive and they're going for it. Left tackle to open up that gap on the roster would just set them back a decent amount. They need to spend on other things. So I think situationally, Ike gets paid, and they want to keep him around, and he'll be around. It's just, how much hardball do they want to play with him in order to hammer down the per year value by $1 million or $2 million. But I do think he'll get paid.
All right, what next year? Cop or drop? Carolina Panthers pick up the 5th-year option on Bryce Young. Cop or drop?
Yeah, I'm copping. I think the Panthers will. Okay? I'm still not sure if I would, but I think the Panthers will. I'm learning this about myself, right? We all evaluate, watch the film, try to self-scout a bit. I think it's easier to say what I'm about to say when I am not running an NFL team. It's one of those things that you talk a big game, and then perhaps when you're sitting in that GM chair and you actually have to make the decisions, you go, you know what, man, I don't believe that anymore. But if you look, since Brad Johnson won the Super Bowl for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and John Gruden in 2002, every single quarterback, aside from Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts is still a little up for grabs, but every single quarterback that has won the Super Bowl has either been on a rookie contract or a future Hall of Famer. All of them. Everyone, aside from Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts had the benefit of a bananas roster. And who knows? He might be a Super Bowl away from being a Hall of Famer himself, which is crazy to think of because I don't know if many would agree with that, but 2 Super Bowls is a pretty good indication you're going to make it. But it's like if you look at the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, it's Roethlisberger, it's Rodgers, it's Manning, it's Breeze, it's Brady, it's Manning, or it's Flacco on a rookie contract, it's Russell Wilson on a rookie contract, it's Foles on Carson Wentz's rookie contract, right? Because if your quarterback's on a rookie contract, you get to spend more elsewhere. Your roster is better. That would indicate if you want to win a Super Bowl, there's really 3 ways to do it. 1, pay your quarterback big money, but it's worth it because he's a Hall of Famer. Have your quarterback on a rookie contract so you can pay to build up the roster around him. Or have an all-time roster. Like, just do what the Eagles did and have the best offensive line, the best defensive line, the best linebackers. Like, just have an insane roster around them. So, let me ask you this. Is Bryce Young a Hall of Famer? If you say with your chest, yes, when it's all said and done, he'll be a Hall of Famer, you pay him. If you say, probably not, then you better win while he's on his rookie contract. And if you say, can the Panthers put an all-time roster around him, which is wildly difficult, then you pay him as well. But you really have to bet on yourself putting that roster together. It's really, really hard to win a Super Bowl with a run-of-the-mill, even above average, like 14th best quarterback in the league, making 35% of the cap. It's really hard to do that. You need to have a Hall of Famer if they're making 30+% of the cap, or have a quarterback on a rookie contract. But again, I think that's easier to say when I don't have to pull the trigger than it is to move on from the 14th best quarterback in the league and say, I'm going to swing for the fences again with a different guy. I think it's much easier to do in theory rather than in practice.
All right, next one here. Cop or drop? Xavier Legette will be a Carolina Panther next season. Cop or drop?
This is year 2 for Xavier Legette, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, I think he'll be a Panther. Do you know what, and this is not to be super mean, but it's going to sound super mean. Do you know what my advice for Xavier Legette would be?
What's that?
Find a niche on special teams. I'm not saying he's never going to be a good wide receiver. Physically, he's unreal, right? The speed, the size, all of it.
Oh, you walk next to him in the locker room, I'm like, you're a dude.
Like, you see his abs through like a loose hoodie. You're like, how does that even make sense? That you're like, but he's that dude. I think he needs something to buy himself a little more time to become a polished wide receiver. And the more you can do, right? The more you can do. If he's gunning on punts and making tackles, it's way, way, way more likely he can make a career that at the moment would be like a 5th or 4th wide receiver. And if he ever puts it together with polish and route running and all of that, he could be higher up on that hierarchy. But usually if you're going to be, not one of the top 3 wide receivers on a team, you have to bring value somewhere else. I think he sticks around for his rookie contract, and then his future in the league is up for grabs. And if he can return kicks, if he can run down on coverage, if he can do something else for your team, or become like a really, really, really good blocker, right? Like, the more you can do, the more likely you are to stick around in this league.
Become like Darius Hayward-Bay.
Yeah, and go talk to David Moore. And go and say, like, David, you made it a lot longer, and no offense to you, David, your physical skill set is not what I'm working with here.
It's not.
How do I do what you like, maximize my talent level like you did, which, the math, right, put better ingredients into the same formula, I should end up pretty darn good.
All right, speaking here real quick, we just got the injury report from the Carolina Panthers from practice today. So this is literally just dropped out. Our good friend Mike K from the Charlotte Observer just posted this. Limited in practice today. Bobby Brown III, defensive lineman, because he had the concussion last game. So he was limited in practice today. Claude Chairless dealing with a calf and ankle injury. He was a full participant in practice. Robert Hunt, full participant in practice. Robert Rochelle, who had a concussion against the Seahawks early in that game, limited participant in practice. Turk Wharton, the defensive lineman, full participant. And Chandler Zavala with a calf injury, who's still on injured reserve, was a full participant in practice as well. They just opened up his 21-day window to return for Chandler Zavala. So there you go.
I just want to clarify one thing that
yes.
you had a lot to get to, so you were going quick. Did you say Robert Hunt full participant?
That's right.
Let's go.
Yes.
For those of you that don't remember, because he's been out for a while, Robert Hunt is a massive offensive guard.
Yeah.
Dancing Bear, though, he's got the footwork. He's very, very good. He's a $20-something million a year offensive guard that they brought in a couple off seasons ago from Miami. He is that dude. And he is somebody that, I know that the big talk will be on guys like Trevon Merrick and J.C. Horn, who were not available last time the Panthers played the Rams. Robert Hunt would be the return that would make me think this could actually change some things here, because the offense needs more help than the defense does.
Especially the way their run game has been going the last 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Good news. Good news. You know what? Let's just open it up. Let's jump to first goal scorer. I'm excited. The Carolina Hurricanes host the Dallas Stars tonight. It's time for first goal scorer predictions. Who will score the first goal of the game for the Carolina Hurricanes in what will surely be a charged Lenovo Center environment? And in what period will that first goal be scored? Call in now. We'll take 3 official guesses for all the bragging rights in the world. 919-860-5326. Call in now. That's the Heister Automotive Group hotline. 919-860-5326. Who scores the first goal for the Canes? And in what period do they score it? That's what we're looking for. While Dennis lines up those callers, I will give you the 99.9 The Fan personality official predictions. Paul, host of Next Up, 9 to 10 every weekday morning here on 99.9. Aho in the first, and he called it finish on finish goals, right? Because obviously a whole bunch of Finns on the Dallas Stars as well, and that includes Mikko Rantanen. Max, who produces Next Up, went with Stankoven in the first, top shelf. Stankoven, part of the Mikko trade, some charged emotions there. Adam, that's Adam Gold from the Adam Gold Show, went with Stahl in the first. He says he is historically good versus Dallas and had the stats to back it up. Victoria, who produces the Adam Gold Show, Ehlers in the first, said it's a Hall assist, and it doesn't come in the first 10 minutes. So it's in the latter half of the opening period. And Dennis and I will give you our predictions in a second. But first, we want to hear from our callers. We have Brian and Holly Springs. Brian, welcome to the show. Who scores the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes, and in what period?
I want the captain in the first period. He's going to be in front of the goal, and he's just going to deflect it in.
All right. Stahl in the first on a deflection. You are locked in. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
That brings us to Tim and Zeblin. Tim, in addition to having a wonderful name, what is your prediction for the first goal scorer for the Canes and what period it will be scored?
I think we got to go Jarvie in the first, right?
Yeah, hey.
He's back.
Yeah, somebody had to.
Jumping at the bit.
Jarvie in the first.
I think he's on the dad line, so a little fast break from Jordo.
All right.
To get that goal.
Which Jordo are you calling?
Stahl. Okay.
All right, perfect. Tim, we appreciate it. Go ahead and lock that in, and good luck to you. We have Jarvis in the first. For those of you that just heard Jarvis and you're laughing, going like, Jarvis is hurt. Now, he was taken off IR earlier this afternoon. He will be playing skated with Stahl and Martinook on that line in morning skate. So, Jarvis wasn't going to miss this one. Last official contestant on the call-in line, we have Thomas in Princeton on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Thomas, welcome to the show. Who scores the first goal of the game for the Canes, and in what period?
Hey, man, can my daughter make the pick for me?
Absolutely.
Aho in the first.
Aho in the first. Tell her great job and good luck to her. If Aho scores in the first and ends up being a Canes win, we're going to need you guys to call in every game, okay?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Thomas, and good luck to you as well. Along those lines, Dennis, I was telling you, my son, who's like 4.5, his favorite player is Aho.
Yeah.
For a bunch of reasons. One of which, when I asked him who his favorite number or who his favorite player was, this was a while ago. He had just learned how to count to 20, so we went with 20. He pronounces Sebastian Aho's name differently every time. It's like Debato Maho. It's always something different, something crazy, but he's a huge Aho fan. So just like Thomas's daughter who made the pick, my son would probably go with Sebastian Aho as well. Dennis, we need your first goal scorer prediction.
Give me Eric Robinson. First period, shorthanded.
You know the
in the
rule.
box. In the box. Jackson Blake for a high stick.
Oh, okay. Jackson Blake for a high stick. How chippy do you think it gets? How many players are hitting the box today?
I would not be shocked if each team has 4 power plays today.
And I wouldn't be shocked if what those teams do with those power plays is a huge deciding factor on who wins the game.
Speaking of which, the first 20 games of the season, the Canes power play, 12.5%. Not good. Since then,
I have a feeling this is going to be a fun however.
23.9%.
I think I saw 14 power play goals last 15 games, something along those lines.
I will check.
Yeah, and I've not been good on my recollection of stats today, so thank you for double checking. But yeah, power play's playing a bunch better, which is why my first goal scorer prediction. A lot of times I think in these games, which by the way I always use like everybody's first goal scorer predictions to kind of take a pulse of what the fan base is thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, a lot of the first goal scorer predictions are people who are emotionally charged. Somebody like Stankoven because of the Mikko trade. Somebody who has a history. Maybe it's Aho because there's a bit of betrayal on his Finnish national team teammate not wanting to play with him in Carolina. Or Keandre Miller or Ehlers is kind of the guys that are making the money that was earmarked for Mikko if he wanted to stay. But I think a lot of times in these games where there's like 4 or 5 guys that are like, oh, they definitely want it, a lot of times the goal comes from someone completely random, right? It's like they're trying so hard and then Robinson, like you said, or my pick, Shane Gostisbehere.
Okay.
In the first on a power play.
All right.
Because the power play has been going well. We know Shane Gostisbehere has some offensive ability, and I think it's just random enough to make sense. He's not the one that's most emotionally charged, but also he was around, right? He's not the one who's least emotionally charged as well. So give me the Union Dutchman's finest, Shane Gostisbehere.
14 goals on the power play the last 16 games.
16. Darn it.
14 in the last 16. That percentage, by the way, the last 16 games, 27.5%.
I was close.
You were there.
I was close. Close doesn't count.
See, what you meant to say was 14 out of 15 going into last game.
That's probably where I saw it. That is probably where I saw it.
You know.
I rang the post,
You did.
which is appropriate for what the Canes.
Makes sense. I know Trip Tracy has pointed this out on the broadcast about how the Canes have hit the post more than any other team this whole season. So eventually when that just starts to go your way, who knows what this team could do?
I obviously have heard that on the broadcast a bunch as well. I never, and I should have asked him. I should have sent him a text, but I never know if they're like jokingly like, oh, they ring the post more than any team, or if it's like, no, actually they ring the post like 3.2 times per game, and that's the most. But it does feel exceptionally often that they are being defended by the post. But it's also like part of me saying good looks, right? If you're hitting the post a bunch, that means you're painting the corners, you're going for it, and you're probably due for some positive regression. But the picks, at least the official ones, Brian and Holly Springs, Stahl in the first on a deflection. Tim and Zeblin went with Jarvis in the first. It is a deadline fast break, leak out pass from Jordan Stahl. And Thomas in Princeton, really his daughter made the pick. Aho in the first. Dennis went with Robinson. I went with Gostisbehere, both in the first. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. You know what first goal scorer prediction proves? We are not very good at predicting the volatile nature of who's going to score the first goal. I mean, if you get like 6 right all season, you're going to win the full pool. It's similar with the The mortgage market. People might think, oh, I know how it's going to go. Oh, I can predict it. In actuality, ain't nobody able to predict it. But what you can do is prepare for it, right? Miller Lending offers something called the no closing cost loan, a no-cost loan, and that allows you to be prepared to take advantage of a volatile market. Obviously, if rates go up and up and up and up, none of us are refinancing, right? We're keeping the rates that we have and being thankful for it. But if rates go down, refinance with Miller Lending, no cost, no fees. It's a no-cost loan, says it right there in the name, and you just get the lower monthly payment. It's that simple. Give them a call to learn more, especially if you locked in a rate at the 7.5% or 8% high of not too long ago. They might be able to lower your monthly payment right now. Give them a call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Panthers are playing in the postseason. That's right, playoffs. Got to remind you every now and then. On Saturday, how much is their lack of postseason experience going to impact them? Stick around.
Do you have a smartphone? Of course you do. Do you have a pocket or pouch or human hand to hold your smartphone? Then you have no excuse. Download the 99.9 The Fan brand new app today and take us with you wherever you go. Your favorite hosts, podcasts, and live sports action all in one place. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Finally, there's an app for 99.9 The Fan. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
If you're exhausted, not just tired, but worn down, this message is for you. I'm Brandon Giggling, president of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Across North Carolina, many people wait months, sometimes over a year, just to start sleep care. That wait isn't normal, and it isn't necessary. At Parkway, most patients are seen within weeks, with virtual consultations and home sleep studies that remove unnecessary delays. Sleep care shouldn't have to depend on how long you're willing to wait.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What, you expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $6.99. That's right, just $6.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always bow time.
Play fake. Bryce rolling to his right. Throws back in the end zone. Juggled and intercepted by the 49ers and Jair Brown.
As that play was developing, it was a hard play action. Bryce rolls to his right. There's a million Niners jerseys in the back of the end zone there. I'm thinking to myself, don't throw it. He threw it, Luke.
Oh, no! We suck again!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. By the way, Panthers fans, I can't emphasize this enough. Enjoy this week. The Panthers are in the postseason. The lead up, in a lot of ways, is better than the actual execution of it, right? Think about it. Talk to your buddies about it. How will they win? What do they have to do? How can they confuse Stafford? Like, enjoy it because, and I don't have to tell Panther fans this, but you don't know when it's going to happen again. It's been, 7 years? It might be another 7. You hope not. And it looks like you have the foundation to get back more recent or more soon than that, but it might be a while. So enjoy it. Take it in. Have fun with it. And if you are just craving more Panthers content, right, you really want to take in the entire week, check us out on YouTube, 99.9 The Fans YouTube channel. There's an endless amount of Panthers content from this show, the Adam Gold Show, Panthers Playbook, the shorts. There's everything. 99.9 The Fan. Go check it out. In the meantime, I want to have a conversation about what the Panthers may have to overcome against the Rams, which is 31 of their 53 guys that were on the roster as of a couple days ago. I know they made some roster moves recently. Roughly 2/3 of their roster have never played in a postseason game. Have never played in a playoff game, and now they're going into not just any old playoff game, but a playoff game against a team who, I mean, up until like 6 weeks ago, I would have said was the best team in the NFL. When actually, ironically, going into the game against the Panthers, I thought the Rams were the best team in the NFL. And you can go check that, right? Because the Monday after the Panthers beat the Rams, they just beat the best team in the NFL. Like that is a no joke challenge that the Panthers are facing. And I would even throw this out there. It's hard to beat a team twice. So they're now playing one of the better teams in the NFL and having to double up on the win they gave them a couple weeks ago. And they're going to have to do so with a whole bunch of players on their roster playing in their first postseason game. And a lot of the main characters, right? J.C. Horn, Derek Brown, Bryce Young, Teteroa McMillan, Ike Ekwonu, Jalen Coker. I could go on and on. So many of their better players that they depend on have never been in this situation before. Now, that's not to say they're going to collapse. That's not to say they're going to be terrible, but there's unknown. They don't know how they play in the postseason. They don't know how they play under those lights. They don't know. And there's only one way to find out. And it'll be Saturday afternoon with the entire world watching. Dave Canales, head coach, yesterday was asked what it's like having so many players who haven't played in the playoffs.
It's a fantastic opportunity. Again, as much as we try to preach to our group, every game is a championship moment. Every game is a championship opportunity. You know, here it is right in front of us now. We're in the playoffs, and to try to make sure that our focus doesn't waver or shift like you have to do anything that you haven't done before. It's about the basics. Football this time of year is about tackling, it's about blocking, and it's about being really efficient. And with each round, the pass rushers get better and better. Here come the Rams with a fantastic front five. The way they get after it, the way they play. You know, these are the types of teams that are in the playoffs. And so matching that energy, making sure we're at our best has to be the focus.
Okay. All right. I like it. But let's also acknowledge this. If there's 30-something or 30 players that have never played in the postseason, that means you're looking at like 20, 22, 23 players that have played in the postseason in some form or fashion. And I would assume Dave Canales, who, by the way, has been an assistant in the postseason at a couple different spots, has never been a head coach in the postseason. Canales, the coaching staff, the rest of the team can lean on the players who have had playoff success. Canales was asked about doing just that yesterday during his media availability.
We had good information. Use the information from the first match.
We'll find it.
Sorry, you want the one about the
leaning on players that have had postseason success is the one we're looking for.
Players to lean on?
Yep.
Okay, I got you. Here you go.
All right, thank you.
I've thought about that. It's a possibility, night before the game, maybe lean on some of those guys who have that experience, who've been there and to feel what it feels like. And I would expect the message is going to be pretty consistent. Can we find our best football? Can we play with that energy? Can we play together? And the teams that play together, that play the best football, are the ones that have success in the postseason. And so hopefully that'll be the message from the guys. And beyond that, I know that they'll be having one-on-one conversations with different players all throughout the week.
Okay, so I have I would say, to scale, significantly smaller. I don't have delusions of this being as big as an NFL playoff game, but I have a kind of similar experience. I played college football at the University of Delaware. My sophomore year, we played in the national championship game. We don't have to talk about what happened once we got there, but we played in the national championship game. And this was 2010, I believe. 2007, which would have been, the freshman year for our seniors, or the junior year for the redshirt freshmen from 2007, they had played in the national championship game with Joe Flacco at the University of Delaware. They actually, shout out to App State, lost to App State in that 2007 national championship. I believe it was the Armonte Edwards little dynasty they had going on there. But that gave us this situation where there were a handful of freshmen. There were a decent amount of freshmen from the 2007 team that were still on, and sophomores from the 2007 team that were still on our team in 2010. And once we got to the postseason, and this was a true postseason, FCS ran the like 30-team bracket, whatever it was. So this is not like bowl games. We weren't just selected. Each week before a big playoff game, our coach did have one of those guys that went through the full run with Flacco, went through the full run, come up and talk to us about playing in the playoffs and win or go home and how you can handle it. And especially at the FCS level. The NFL, every game's national television and everybody's watching every game. But the FCS level, like every round, you got on ESPN, or every round more people were watching. It became a bigger deal. And combating those nerves was a big part of it. And their message was nearly unanimous, right? Different players would say it different ways, right? Funny guys would say it in a funny way. Super serious guys would put it in a super serious way, right? They'd put their spin on it. But the message was almost always the same. Lean on your routine. Athletes are creatures of habit. And with every step in the playoffs that we went, it felt like more and more and more people were trying to rip our routine away from us, right? On this day, we normally got together and had food with all the quarterbacks. And this day, we got together and we did it with the linemen. Or this morning, we woke up and got extra lift in. And then as you get into the playoffs, it's like, oh, this guy can't do it. He's being interviewed by ESPN pre-production. Oh, that guy can't do it. He's with the coach extra because the coach is now freaking out and putting in way more prep than they're used to doing. And they would just say, stick to your prep. It's what got you here, and it kind of centers you, right? There's a desire, once you get to the games that feel bigger, to be like, normally I go home at 8:30. I'm going home at 11. I'm going to watch so much extra film. And it's like you'd be paralysis by overanalysis, or you can actually tire yourself out. You can exhaust yourself. Like I normally go out to get a couple throws in 2.5 hours before the game. I'm going out 3 hours before the game, and I'm throwing 900 passes. And then by the time the game starts, you're gassed. Like, the thing you did to get prepared, if you're handling your business during the regular season, is the right amount to get prepared. Right? You didn't go into regular season games unprepared, at least I hope not. So do the same. Lean on your routine. It is bigger, so I don't want to say, like, pretend like, this game is the same as every other. I always think that's ridiculous. It's not. But
no, it's definitely not.
But doing the things in routine can calm you, right? It centers you. It's a weird thing to go through. But, like, do as much as you can in the same routine that you've been doing all year to get ready for a game. And then acknowledge, more lights are on this one. More eyeballs will be watching.
I think it's also advantageous, the fact that they played on Saturday and then they're playing again on Saturday. So it's a true 1 week between games, so you can keep that same routine. Dave Canales even talked about it when their game against Tampa got flexed. He's like, well, it's actually might be a good thing, because if we do make the playoffs, we either have a normal week or even an extra day to prepare, whereas the Rams played on Sunday, so their week is slightly shorter.
And I would,
and they have to travel cross country.
Yeah, also true. I would love it if Canales said, like, hey, same schedule as last week, right? Our Wednesday practice is now Tuesday. Our Thursday practice is now Wednesday. Same schedule as last week, because it takes things off of your plate. And then listen to the guys, right? If Turk Wharton steps up and says, hey, here's a key that helps me get through the postseason, listen to it. He's got rings. You know what I mean? Like, take that into account. You don't got to take it all and do it exactly the way they do it, but find out what works for you and try to keep some semblance of routine. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the starting five coming up next, including some big news out of the transfer portal and big college basketball games tonight. Next.
Crazy Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Dallas.
Rebound comes across, and he'll score! Eric Robinson!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Now here comes Svechnikov with a turnover. He scores! That's the magic of Andrei Svechnikov!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
What's this?
We're expanding the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club.
That's a pretty big wrecking ball.
Well, with all these new scratch-offs, this place is going to be packed with new winners. Okay, let's go ahead and knock this wall down. This is where we're putting the polo field. Whoa, patience, Trixie.
This month's tickets are loaded with $90 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds or winning range from 1 in 3.35 to 4.68. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
I am here with Patrick Day of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I'm on your website. Gutter helmets right on the front of the website. Do you have a gutter helmet to fit my head? I have a small head.
We have a gutter helmet for every head, Adam. So anyhow, if you give us a call, we'll come out and take a look at your windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, and of course we can do the gutter helmet. We have financing programs that are really good. So we have like 12 months with 0 payments for 12 months. You don't have to pay anything. So if you're thinking about home improvements and you're thinking you're saving up for it, just come on and see us and we'll go ahead and get you set up and get your project done, and you can pay in 12 months from now.
I feel like you're speaking directly to me. If it's for the exterior of your home, there is no better place than the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You can find them online, aluminumcompany.com. Siding, roofing, windows, entry doors, storm doors, and the world-famous gutter helmets. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 1-800-672-4348.
What does it mean to win this award to you?
It means a lot to me, just being recognized for all my hard work on and off the court.
The Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month from 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union. To nominate your athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. It's a nice January evening, not too chilly out there. The low tonight just 47 degrees. Wednesday we reach 70 degrees for the high with lots of sunshine. Thursday a little cooler with a high of 66 and more clouds, but we'll be back in the 70s on Friday.
Weather update brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka, the world's smoothest vodka. Pour Blue Shark Vodka at all your events to lift everyone's spirits. Blue Shark Vodka, the shark that doesn't bite. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 485 points today to 49,462.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five. And as always, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
As the transfer portal turns, somewhere in the triangle, an NC State football fan said at some point, probably about a month ago, I don't care what happens in the portal as long as CJ Bailey stays around. And the portal gods heard that and said, deal, we'll take it. Because a lot of guys are hitting the portal from State, but CJ Bailey has committed to sticking around. And in a weird way, I think you're seeing why guys are hitting the portal. Hollywood Smothers has committed to Alabama. Terrell Anderson is committed to USC. Jacarius Peak, the offensive lineman, is being courted by a whole bunch of different teams. Some have him listed as the number one tackle remaining in the portal. Those are going to be big paydays. And you know what? It's a credit to State in some ways for showcasing and developing players that, USC and Alabama aren't in the business of giving paydays to players that aren't good. You know what I mean? USC has two wide receivers that could go in the top round or two, and Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane, and Terrell Anderson signing at USC may slide into one of those positions, right? Alabama has taken out of the transfer portal an ACC running back that showed flashes of big playability, had him at Alabama for a year, and it turned into one of the best running backs in the NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs from Georgia Tech to Alabama to the NFL. Maybe Hollywood Smothers is thinking that path is one he should follow. It is. Do you know what actually I think is funny about this? And I'm not, whatever. I was going to apologize for being seemingly mean, but no. Logic has to prevail. You can't get mad at Hollywood Smothers going into the portal if you're a State fan. Do you know why? You got him out of the portal. If loyalty matters, he's still at Oklahoma. He's not. You didn't get the 2 years to enjoy with him. And now you get to turn to Duke Scott, the running back who showed out in the Georgia Tech game when Hollywood Smothers was hurt and had 200 total yards. Like, it's the transfer portal giveth and the transfer portal taketh away. And it truly becomes a game of debits and credits, right? You just have to make sure at the end, when the transfer portal settles, you've brought more value into your program than you've lost. And doing all of the math now is kind of pointless. I had somebody today texting me about their favorite team and how great it's been in the portal. And I'm going, well, that's cool, but hold your horses, because this can also happen. UNC out of the portal brought in Billy Edwards Jr., a quarterback from Wisconsin, committed to UNC. This was, a day or two ago. And a couple hours later, less than a half a day later, Gio Lopez, the quarterback from last year for UNC, announced he was going into the portal, right? So if you bring in a player out of the portal, that might lead to people leaving. You know what I mean? Let me ask you this, Dennis, because I'm big onto how the portal is going to change college football. I don't think anybody has mastered it yet, although I think Indiana does a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, I'd say they've done a pretty good job.
All four teams in the college football playoff have quarterbacks that did not start at those schools. Mm-hmm. They're all portal guys. We're seeing receivers. We're seeing running backs transfer at a ridiculous rate. We're seeing offensive linemen transfer at a ridiculous rate. Defensive players a little less for certain positions, because I think loyalty to defensive coordinators and systems matters more. But anyway, I'm wondering if pretty soon power conferences, unless they plan on starting them as a true freshman, don't even recruit high school quarterbacks. They almost, during the recruiting process, become friends with them and say, go to Conference USA for a year or two, right? We'll be watching. We'll be paying attention. Here's some things we want to see from you. Then a year or two, call us. Because, CFP is all transfers. The Final Four is all transfer quarterbacks.
But also, where were they coming from? Like, Mendoza came from a power conference school in Cal.
Which is why Cal should never recruit a high school quarterback again.
Yeah.
Right? They did a good job with Sago Politele, but
kept them around.
but they planned on playing him as a true freshman. That's my point. If you don't plan on playing a guy as a true freshman, I don't know if they stick around on average after a year or two backing somebody up. So it's almost like go get a veteran from a FCS school to be your backup and pick your starter out of the portal every year, which is a gross way to think about college football, but I think it might be going that way. And for receivers, I think this is going to be true. Now I'm just into theory, right? I think one of the huge advantages, or if you are a defensive coach, if at the beginning of the year, the mandates you give to your offensive play caller, your quarterback's coach, your offensive coordinator, is we need to get one stud receiver and feed him the ball. Because if we have a true spread it around offense where everybody's getting a few catches but nobody's getting a ton, they're all going to leave and they're all going to have good film on those few catches. So let's pay a ton to get the best one receiver we can possibly get and throw him the ball a billion times, and then he'll stay. It's gross, don't get me wrong, but I think it's going to happen. That was number 5. Let's jump to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Stolen away, 2-on-1. Trey Holloman flies to the rim for 2.
NC State men's basketball at Boston College tonight. It is a late night, 9 o'clock tip up there in New England. NC State is really an interesting team this year. If there were a basketball team that I would like to have like Hard Knocks follow around, NC State might be my number 1 draft pick. That might be top of the big board. Will Wade is honest maybe to a fault. He is blunt and brash, and his team is catching the brunt of it when they don't play up to his standards. Looking at a few games here, there is a pattern for State, which is Will Wade gives an all-time press conference where he calls out them for their toughness, their edge, their on and on and on, and then the next game, they traditionally respond with a very feisty defensive effort. And then a couple games later, they play a game that's like, ooh, that's not good. It's I don't know. Will Wade can't yell at him every game. You know what I mean? That'll go numb. You'll turn to white noise at some part. But it was the UNC Asheville game. During the pregame, I don't know if that was kind of a weird timing. It was during the pregame interview with Matt Chazanow. But the next game, they played really well against Liberty, held them to 45 points. After the Texas Southern game, which they won by a bundle, there was another all-time Will Wade rant in the post-game press conference. The next game, Ole Miss was one of their better performances. Now, 2 games later, they kind of, to use your term, Dennis, laid a dud in their last game against Virginia at home. I don't know. It's the issue with going so aggressive with the rant early in the season is if this doesn't stick, like I have to one-up this next time. You know what I mean? I got to go higher. And then there's this underlying narrative of Darion Williams, which I'm not the only one that picked it up. We talked about it on the show, but a lot of people picked it up. It felt like there were some subtweets, some little passive-aggressive parts of the rants that were directed directly towards Darion Williams. And then, what was it? After the Wake Forest game, Will Wade went on a rant about how Darion Williams is impacting winning and he's playing well and all of these other things. And it's like, I don't know. You can't be mad on both sides. You can't be furious at your team for not showing effort and not being productive enough and thinking you're going to the NBA when you're not, and the scouts aren't here to watch you and nobody's turning in the effort and it's outside of a few guys who you outlined, and then turn around and go, why are you all criticizing my team? It's like, I trusted you. You're the one that told me it wasn't going well. Now you're yelling at us for we agreed with you. What do you want us to do? You can't be on both sides of the fence and yelling at us for both reasons.
I know he was asked about Williams after the UVA game, and he was a little bit more subdued about it. He's like, I'm going to be a little more calm here. I guess he'd say I guess he was a little more tact. But he did acknowledge the fact that 8 shot attempts from Williams isn't enough. Like, plain and simple.
Yes.
Because he was just 3 of 8, which is true. Like, he needs, whether that's him being more assertive, you run more action for him. I even asked Will Wade after the game about the quality of the three-point attempts. And he said, initially with having looked at everything, he didn't really like the quality of the three-point shots they got. Personally, I don't think they get to the paint enough in the sense of getting paint touches. You can drive into the paint and then work the ball out from there to get more quality shots. I don't think NC State does that on a consistent enough basis. That's just what I've seen. And based off his answer when I asked about that, it kind of felt the exact same way. Maybe that's where Darian Williams can be more assertive by putting the ball on the floor, getting to the paint, drawing the defense, and distribute because he's good at it. We've seen him do it. That's where you probably like to see Darian Williams increase his productivity and usage in that regard.
He's shooting 41% from 3.
Yeah. I know he's got the bum shoulder and all that stuff. I understand that, but you still would like to see it.
More.
Yeah.
Shoot more. Shooting over 45% from the field for a guy that should be high volume, that's plenty good enough. Boston College is a must-win because Boston College is not scaring you, and you need to start racking up wins in the ACC to build resumes and things like that. That is number 3. How about number... Oh, sorry, that was number 4. How about number 3?
Again, it's Chinyelu defending. Help from Klajar. Evans for 3. They left Evans, and he made him pay.
I've been one off on every stat today, including the numbers on the starting 5.
Yep. It happens.
Number 6 in the country, Duke, is at number 20, Louisville, tonight, 7 p.m. This is a big one. This, many would say these are the 2 best teams in the ACC. Whoa. Sorry, Duke and Louisville. We're going to have to take a break. There's some breaking NFL news.
What is this? I did not know.
John Harbaugh out.
Oh.
Baltimore Ravens.
Wow.
John Harbaugh has been the coach for the Ravens for a very long time.
Been there since, what, 2008?
It feels like at
I know
least.
He and Tom would have been there basically about the same time.
2008 to the present. He has been the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens.
Wow.
You want to talk about a tough league. If Tyler Loop makes a field goal that Tyler Loop should make, the Ravens are getting ready for the postseason right now.
Yeah.
And there's 0% chance John Harbaugh is fired. Actually, I don't even want to say fired. The wording from Adam Schefter is sources, John Harbaugh is out as the Ravens head coach. And I don't think Schefter, throws words around crazy, right? So that could, maybe we'll hear that it was a conscious uncoupling, mutual.
Yeah, there you go.
But somebody is going to get a chance to take over a pretty interesting team with a 2-time MVP still in his 20s in Lamar Jackson leading the way. Goodness gracious, that is a fascinating decision from them. And guess what? John Harbaugh now becomes probably the most attractive head coaching candidate on the market, and with an in-division team for the Carolina Panthers looking for a coach in the Atlanta Falcons. Perhaps he ends up in Atlanta, and now all of a sudden you have a Super Bowl winning veteran coach in your division to battle it out. I've also heard that the Giants were circling John Harbaugh if and or when the Ravens moved on from him, so perhaps he could end up with the Giants. But that is, I'll call it like it is. I think that's an NFL changing decision to move on from John Harbaugh. Longevity in the NFL doesn't exist. Identity as far as coach and team doesn't exist in the NFL. It's very hard to stick around as long as he has, and now he's out.
That's big. So that's, 7 openings now in the NFL?
Yep. And I think the Ravens just moved to the top of the list for most attractive.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe a Clint Kubiak opportunity. You got to get an offensive mind in there to work with.
Kevin Stefanski.
Maybe Kevin Stefanski. Maybe Kevin. But
he understands that division.
He just feels very Harbaugh-like.
Does he?
To me, right? Like just super solid, kind of understated, calm in most situations.
I don't know if you get an offensive head coach though.
He is an offensive head coach. I don't think Todd Monken was the issue. I don't know. The Ravens are fascinating. Derrick Henry, you might have 1 or 2 more years of 1,500 yards like he's been cranking out. You don't want to waste that. This is an important hire. Wow. Bill Belichick?
Well, speaking of, we can go ahead and play this audio. We're actually going to save this for after the numbers game. But he was on with Jim Gray. Jim Gray, Westwood won, if I remember correctly. He was asked last night, this podcast dropped last night from Jim Gray. Bill Belichick, there's a question baked in here about the NFL from Jim Gray.
Coach, you're going to be associated with a lot of these job openings, and your competitors in college football are going to use that against you because you're the greatest coach in NFL history, and obviously your name's going to come up. And whether or not you're interested or not interested, they're going to say you're interested so that this kid won't come to the University of North Carolina.
Oh, I've heard plenty of that. We've heard plenty of that, Jim.
How are you going to handle this? What do you say? And would you have an interest?
Yeah, nothing's changed. Yeah, I'm where I was a month ago. I'm here in North Carolina. I really appreciate the love and support that we've gotten from the community down here, from the school, from Chancellor Roberts, the ADs, Bubba Cunningham, Steve Newmark, working with Mike Lombardi and our staff here. We're building a good program, and I'm excited about the direction we're headed in.
All right, maybe he won't be interested in Lamar, although that's pretty as firm and aggressive as you can say no. I believe Belichick has said a few times, like one of his big misses was not drafting Lamar in that first round when he fell all the way to 32. Little missed connection, the one that got away. I doubt it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us. I don't want to tell you guys. No, there's nothing wrong. I feel great.
That's Seth Jarvis, Carolina Hurricanes, who will be playing tonight against, speaking of the one that got away, Mikko Rantanen and the Dallas Stars.
I could play this on loop.
I mean, the Lenovo Center might play it on loop. Ask you to sing along, a little karaoke.
I wish they did.
A little karaoke version.
I wish they did. Whomever's running the music at Lenovo Center, play that music, and by all means, fans, I want to hear this from you all. Just put them on the big screen. Everyone can see it. Just play the music.
There you go. The Carolina Hurricanes are hosting the Dallas Stars today. Tonight, I should say. And you can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. What'd you say?
I said, yeah, there's the game, I guess.
Yeah, there's a game. And Seth Jarvis is back, which is big news regardless of who you're playing. He is skating alongside, at least he skated alongside in morning skate, Jordan Stahl and Jordan Martinook. He's had success on that line in the past. It's sometimes like the reset line for Jarvis, right? Like anytime you need to shake things up, you can always just drop him down to the Stahl line and get him going again. What it does is there has been a decent amount, and I say decent amount, some really good production from the top line of the Carolina Hurricanes with Jarvis out. Aho, Svech, Ehlers have been pretty good with their point productions as of late, and now Jarvis might be able to jumpstart another line. Another bit of insight into the lines from morning skate today. Looks like Stankoven will be getting another chance at the second line center, which I would say has had mixed reaction from the fan base. Jarvis will be on that quote-unquote third line, Stahl line with Stahl and Martinook. Noah Philp will be centering the fourth line, which means Jankowski and Kotkaniemi will both be inactive, or healthy scratches, if you will. Noah Philp hasn't been around that long. Claimed him off waivers, not too distant history, and he'll have Carrier and Robinson on either side of him. That's a interesting decision. We'll see how it plays out for him. In other injury news, Jacob Slavin, still dealing with that upper body injury, is skating during morning skate. He was in a yellow no-contact sweater skating alongside Mike Riley, but at least, continuing to make strides and hopefully return to the lineup soon. And this will make everybody maybe the most happy of all the news I just gave you. Brandon Bussey in net. People love the bus stop, man. Last question for you, Dennis. And we're going to talk more about this game later on, so I'll save the if-then statement for later on. But you said something off-air earlier today that I thought was interesting. You think Mikko Rantanen is public enemy number 1 for the Canes?
Right now, yeah.
Jumping over the Eric Hallas and some of the guys in the past.
I mean, Eric Hall will always be...
I'm not saying now Halla is loved, but you're saying the number 1... Bleep that guy?
Yeah.
Mikko
You know
Rantanen?
why? Because Canes fans opened their arms when they made that deal. Canes fans opened their arms and said, come be part of this family. We're excited to have you. We have a seat at the table. We'll bring you a plate. Kick your shoes off. Make yourself at home. And he said, nah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
I welcome you into my home and you say no? Yeah, you can go kick rocks and flip-flops.
And not to mention they were cool with, like, Drury and Natchez going away. Because it brought back Mikko Rantanen, which is big because Drury and Natchez they had earned some fan bases with the Canes, and being willing to part with guys to bring in and then not having that same reciprocated love is painful. That's number 4. What is that? Number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The 1!
Carolina Panthers postseason Saturday. Open the playoffs against the Los Angeles Rams. Nothing but opportunity. Nothing. I'm going to say this 1,000 times this week. Whatever happens on Saturday, gravy. Gravy. They're ahead of schedule. Their rebuild was not supposed to be in the postseason this year. They're ahead of schedule. So anything that happens is icing. It's extra. They're going to have an opportunity to look across the field at a future Hall of Famer, Matt Stafford, a future Hall of Famer, Devontae Adams. They're going to have the opportunity to a future Hall of Famer, likely Sean McVay. They're going to have the opportunity to look aside and see what they're made of. And maybe they don't love the answer right now, but the beauty of it is you're ahead of schedule. Try again next year. Okay, we weren't ready for this. Let's work on it in the offseason. Let's go sign this guy in free agency. Let's draft this guy and try to go back. And they already beat this team once. Back in late November, the Rams made the cross-country trip, the same cross-country trip that they're going to make on ahead of Saturday's game. They made the cross-country trip. They played in Bank of America, and the Panthers sent them home with a loss. Dave Canales was asked yesterday how much they, as a coaching staff, as a team, can take away from the first Rams matchup.
We had good information. Use the information from the first matchup to see, how we were trying to attack and to react to different scenarios, and make sure that we're on top of that. And obviously expect, there will be some wrinkles, and we understand that part of it. But when you play a team the second time, there should be a little bit of confidence for things that are similar. Things that they may try to recreate in some way, shape, or form. And, and the fact that we were able to come away with the win should give confidence as well. If we do our job, if we do right, and we play well together, we can win, but it's going to take all of our focus and all that. And, we certainly have seen them, bounce back and really, get back to playing their rhythmic football and Matthew taking care of the ball, the run game going the way that they see it going. And defensively speaking, they've been really consistent. And, so we just have to take all the information in from these past couple of weeks and make sure that, we revisit some of the things that were successful for us and also just be ready for adjustments.
Playing a team for the second time is, I think, one of the harder things for a coach to do. Because 2 reasons. One, you can get caught up assuming they're going to do the same thing, right? Because normally when you're preparing, when you're watching film of an opponent, for a football team, you throw on previous games that they've played against other teams, and you go, all right, our formation is a little different here, but this one is similar that this team 2 weeks ago played against them, and here's how they defended it. We think they could do something similar to this when we throw our, bunch formation or whatever it is, even if, we have the tight end on the outside, not the inside. And you're kind of guessing. And because of that, you prepare for everything because a guess is not 100%. When you can look at film of what you do, you go like, all right, here's what we did when we were in this formation. Here's how they defended it. Let's be prepared for that. You're kind of just subconsciously less prepared for everything because you think you know how they're going to play it, even though you know they're going to change it. But then the other side is a danger too. I'm ready. It's a Tuesday, 5:30 almost. Let's quote Friends. There's an episode of Friends where there's two groups and they both are trying to keep secrets from each other. I forget the full context. But the joke is they both keep trying to flip it on each other. And at one point they're like, they don't know that we know they know we know they know. Right? And they're in too deep. That can happen as well, where it's like, all right, we beat them with a counter run last time. So they're going to be prepared for the counter. So we should counter the counter. But I bet you they're sitting there thinking, oh, okay, they think they beat us on the counter, so they're going to counter their counter. So we should be prepared for the counter of the counter. So maybe we should just go back and run the regular counter. No, actually, we should run what the original counter was countering. And it's like, what are we doing here? Right? You're in too deep. Come on. All of a sudden you look like the meme of Charlie from It's Always Sunny, where he has the newspaper clippings and the string, and he's like, nah, here's it. And you almost think too much about that game rather than just doing what you do well. Right? Go back to the game against the Rams. That you won, by the way. And it was a solid game. I think it was the best game you played, like full team-wise, all year. And go, ooh, Jalen Coker had a big game. Yeah, he had 4 catches. He had the touchdown. He had the long, the one down the sideline. You know what we should run? Jalen Coker. Fake comeback. We should run a comeback because they're going to be worried about Jalen Coker to going down the sideline. Oh, but guess what? Sean McVay is smart, right? These guys aren't stupid. What are they going to do? They're going to expect us to run let's run the hitch and go. Let's run the hitch and go, and then we're going to catch it down. And it's like, no, okay, relax. Do what you do best. Prepare as well as you can. You do know more about the Rams than you would a normal opponent, but don't go too far down that path.
Figure out how you ran the ball so well that game and replicate it. Because that's the last time they, as collectively as a whole, ran the ball well.
That was also, I give them credit, that was a game where going into it, I and many were like, give the ball to Rico Dowdle. And then early in the game, it was obvious that Chuba Hubbard had more juice, and they kind of ended with 50-50 carry split. Be that adaptable, right?
Yeah, Chuba had 17, Rico had 18.
The other way that you kind of get stuck is you think your playoff game plan is golden, and even if it's not working, you're reluctant to change because you're like, no, this is the thing. Flip it if you need to, right? There is no tomorrow. Don't wait. Don't go, I wish we would have started giving the ball more to Rico or giving the ball more to Chuba. Like, this one is hot hand to the fullest. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We do have numbers game coming up, but before we get to that, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick from my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. We're into the new year. We've turned the calendar over, and I know a lot of people are already thinking about, man, have I already failed on my New Year's resolution? Maybe in that weight loss journey and all that kind of stuff. Well, this is where Raleigh Weight Loss Center actually comes in to help you in that weight loss journey. I've been on the program. I've lost over 40 pounds, and most importantly, I've kept that weight off thanks to the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And the thing I appreciated about them is they just give you a plan to follow. So many people, when they get into a weight loss journey, they're not sure if a program is going to work for them. They're not entirely sure how to stick with the routine. Raleigh Weight Loss Center lays it all out for you. And they also have follow-up appointments so you can track your progress. If you have questions, they have an open line of communication at any time. That way you can figure out during the course of the process how it best adapts to you and your needs. That's what Raleigh Weight Loss Center does. It's all about resetting your metabolism. They've helped thousands of people lose anywhere between 10 to 20% of their body weight in 60 days. I lost over 15% of my body weight thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And if you want to learn more about the program, I encourage you to set up a free 15-minute phone call so you can learn more. Call Raleigh Weight Loss Center at 919-897-7506 or visit them online at RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Again, set up a free 15-minute phone call. If you got questions, if you have health concerns, if you're a little bit unsure about things, bring that all to the table. Get your questions answered. There's no shots. There's no injections, no surgeries, no side effects. You're not doing steroids. We're not doing HGH. Just your body resetting its metabolism. That way it can do the natural thing. 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
Let's grab some numbers game contestants. We have the numbers game coming up next. The winner will receive a $25 Auto Bell car wash gift card, but you have to earn it. You have to win the numbers game. Call in now. We need 2 contestants. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Call in now. Numbers game next.
Listen for college football's best through January 19th. From the Military Bowl to the Natty in Miami. Every major bowl game will be brought to you live.
Carnero for the lead from 47 yards. He got it. Ole Miss leads Georgia 37-34 with 6 seconds remaining.
Bowl season on 99.9 The Fan and Buzz Sports is presented by Wakeman, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen Report.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I travel coast to coast covering hockey. But when I'm back home, I head to my home away from home, Buffalo Brothers, for the best wings on the planet. You can't beat their specials at all 5 of their Triangle locations. Every pro football game day, you can get Miller Lite Draft for $4.50 and Blue Moon Draft for $5.50. Pet-friendly patio too. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. We have Cameron and Raleigh. We have Andrew and Raleigh. They are ready to battle it out in jersey number trivia, with the winner getting a $25 Autobell Car Wash gift card. As always, we'll bring them both onto the show, ask them the same question, and whichever one Dennis thinks gives the best answer gets to go first. That's how we decide. We'll start with Cameron and Raleigh. Cameron, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
All right, so the Ravens are moving on from John Harbaugh, which is pretty surprising to me. So I'll ask you this. Who is... let me make sure I phrase this in a way that it's not making it too hard for you. Who is... Nah, actually, we'll double back. We'll just go, who's the best coach of all time? Any coach, any sport, who's the best coach of all time?
I'm going to go with Scotty Bowman from the NHL. Won a lot of cups.
Scotty Bowman. Dennis, any follow-up questions?
Nope.
All right, perfect. Locked in. We go to Andrew and Raleigh. Andrew, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, same question to you. There's some coaching news going on, so we're just simply asking who is the greatest coach in sports history.
I'll say Vince Lombardi. The trophy's named after him.
All right, Vince Lombardi. These are two good ones. I was worried about putting you guys on the spot. I think these could have answered a more difficult question because they were ready to roll.
Yeah, clearly.
Are you going with Scotty Bowman or Lombardi?
Lombardi does have a trophy named after him.
True.
That's pretty remarkable when you have that. You factor in all the championships even before the Super Bowls. But 14 Stanley Cup wins? I got to go Scotty Bowman.
14. It's a good career just to be coaching 14 years, let alone winning the whole thing.
14 Stanley Cup wins.
All right, Bowman gets the win, and that means Cameron and Raleigh gets to go first. Andrew, don't worry, you'll have your chance. Just have to stay on hold. Cameron, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, sir.
We have NFL players that are Panthers throughout history NFL players that are Rams throughout history. See what we did there? They're playing each other. Third category is NBA players born south of the equator. And finally, NHL players, Hurricanes throughout history.
I'm going to go with NHL players, Hurricanes throughout history.
When you picked Scotty Bowman for your other answer, I had a feeling I knew which category you were going with. I will give you the player and the team. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. We will say the team in this category, even though we know it. Just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. There'll be 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any questions before we get into it?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Keandre Miller, Carolina Hurricanes.
19.
Correct. Sebastian Aho, Carolina Hurricanes.
20.
Arders Urbe, Carolina Hurricanes.
1.
Correct. Bob Bogner, Carolina Hurricanes.
8.
Correct. Mike Watt, Carolina Hurricanes.
7.
Incorrect. Mike Watt, Carolina Hurricanes.
Pass.
There's the only one left. Mike Watt, Carolina Hurricanes.
19.
Incorrect. Mike Watt, Carolina Hurricanes.
21.
Incorrect. Mike Watt, Carolina Hurricanes.
42.
Incorrect. All right, give us one more just to see.
16.
Okay. You can rest easy knowing that you weren't one away. 29 is what we were looking for Mike Watt. But I have to say, the first 4, smooth, very impressive. 4 is a nice number to post, and we'll see if it holds up. Go ahead and stay on the line, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. That brings us to Andrew in Raleigh. Andrew, can you hear me?
I can still hear you.
Perfect. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players, Panthers throughout history, NFL players, Rams throughout history, or NBA players born south of the equator.
Let's go with the Rams throughout history.
All right. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You do need at least 5, so you need them all. For the win, we've seen it done. We've seen 5s win it at the buzzer. So any questions before we get started?
No questions.
Perfect. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Aaron Donald, Los Angeles Rams.
99.
Correct. Colby Parkinson, Los Angeles Rams.
89.
Incorrect. Van Jefferson, Los Angeles Rams.
11.
Incorrect. Colby Parkinson, Los Angeles Rams.
88.
Incorrect. Van Jefferson, Los Angeles Rams.
12.
Correct. Tavon Austin, Los Angeles Rams.
11.
Correct. Case Keenum, Los Angeles Rams.
7.
Incorrect. Colby Parkinson, Los Angeles Rams.
83.
Incorrect. Case. That was a hard-earned, played, very, very solid strategic game. Unfortunately, it fell just short. You were all over Colby Parkinson. You were all over the 80s. We would have accepted 84 or 86, and somehow you avoided both of them. And Case Keenum, you went with 7. We were looking for 17. So you only got 3. Again, not enough for the win, but well played, and hopefully you had some fun.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. And that means Cameron in Raleigh is the winner. Cameron, congratulations.
Hey, thank you so much.
That is a $25 gift card to Autobell Car Wash coming your way. Just stay on the line and make sure Dennis grabs the info he needs to get.
Yes, sir.
All right. Congrats once again. Again, just to update you on what kind of breaking news took place right before we went into the numbers game. John Harbaugh out as coach of the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to put this in perspective for you. And this, NFL coaching years are dog years. If you coach with the same team for 8 years, that is an unbelievable run of longevity, and it probably means you won something of significance somewhere in there to extend your time as the head coach. John Harbaugh took over for the Baltimore Ravens in 2008. Again, to put that in perspective, he coached his first year with the Ravens my final year of high school football. I have finished my high school career, played 4 years at the college level, and been in media for well over a decade now. And I've gotten married, I have kids, I've moved a bunch, I've lived in 4 or 5 states since then. And the entire time he has been coaching the Baltimore Ravens, and that came to a close today. They drafted Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco had a long run, won a Super Bowl, won Rookie of the Year. They then drafted Lamar Jackson, had a successful transfer of power at the quarterback position, which almost never happens in the NFL. Lamar Jackson won 2 MVPs, and all of that time, John Harbaugh was the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, and that ended today, which I do believe the ripples will be felt across the NFL. One, I believe John Harbaugh, if he wants to jump right back into being a head coach in the NFL, I believe he becomes the most attractive head coach on the market.
Yeah. 1 or 2 easily.
If he wanted to do the Mike Vrabel thing and take a year off and go visit colleges and, you know, spend some time around his brother's team with the Chargers and then kind of have the pick of all the teams next year, I think that's a possibility. But if he wanted to jump back in, I believe everybody's making a call right now to his agent, if not directly to him if they have a relationship. And the Ravens, I think, become the most attractive team for potential candidates on the market based on the openings that have opened up and exist right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have a 2-time MVP at quarterback. It's like, well, do I want to go with Penix coming off an injury? Do I want to go with Jackson Dart, who can't protect himself from throwing his body at defenders? I could go out to the Raiders where they don't have an offensive line.
Or a quarterback.
You would think Mendoza would be that guy.
I mean, yeah, the number one overall pick, yeah.
Or do I want to go to a team that has Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry?
Mark Andrews, got Kyle Hamilton on defense.
Zay Flowers is a Pro Bowler again.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton's very good defensively. They do need a pass rush desperately, but, I mean, if they were winning Super Bowls, they wouldn't need a coach. So that's a wildly interesting turn of events in the NFL.
You also wonder as well, the name that's going to get brought up is Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick. They're like Tomlin and Rodgers. This is what I'll say. Tomlin and Rodgers, for most of their careers, it did feel like there was some like across the field flirting, like that they just respected each other. Little bat your eyelashes at each other. I do think maybe not as obvious. I think there was a little bit of that with Belichick and Lamar, where they just respected the heck out of each other, and maybe there was some missed opportunities along the way. Now, this audio we're about to play for you with Jim Gray, Sirius XM, I believe, Belichick was speaking about potentially entertaining some NFL openings. This was before the news that John Harbaugh would no longer be the coach of the Ravens, but nonetheless, we'll play it for you. This is Bill Belichick on with Jim Gray.
Coach, you're going to be associated with a lot of these job openings, and your competitors in college football are going to use that against you because you're the greatest coach in NFL history, and obviously your name's going to come up. And whether or not you're interested or not interested, they're going to say you're interested so that this kid won't come to the University of North Carolina.
Oh, I've heard plenty of that. We've heard plenty of that, Jim.
How are you going to handle this? What do you say? And would you have an interest?
Yeah, nothing's changed. Yeah, I'm where I was a month ago. I'm here in North Carolina. Really appreciate the love and support that we've gotten from the community down here, from the school, from Chancellor Roberts, the ADs, Bubba Cunningham, Steve Newmark, working with Mike Lombardi and our staff here. We're building a good program, and I'm excited about the direction we're headed in.
Pretty good slamming of the door there, but I will say this. I don't think, I say it often. Coaches aren't under oath at the podium. They're not under oath when talking to Jim Gray either. So, if I were entertaining other jobs and somebody asked me about it publicly, I wouldn't go, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm going for the NFL. I think I'm chasing that, because if it didn't happen, then, UNC wouldn't be stoked about that. So, I believe him, but if you wanted to not believe him, I would understand. But I believe that Belichick has no interest in going to the NFL, and I'm not sure there's a ton of interest in the other direction either. I don't know if any of these NFL teams would want Bill Belichick at this point. Older guy, obviously, and hasn't coached a super successful football team in recent years. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Manor Service Company. I like this analogy we've been working today. A lot of coaching talk. I think Manor Service Company is like the best offensive line coach you can possibly have. And an offensive line coach, you want them to be experts. You want them to be smart. Oftentimes, offensive linemen are the smartest in the room. But also, you want them to take care of business and you want to take his position for granted, right? You don't want the highlights to have a bunch of offensive linemen. You just want, hey, my quarterback can stand back there and have all the time in the world. Same thing with Mainer Service Company. I don't need the flash. I don't need the sizzle, right? If I want my TV to disappear into the wall, I'll call someone else. What I want from Mainer Service Company is I want my hot water to work. I want my plumbing to work. I want my heating, my cooling. I want my electric. I want it to be as dependable as possible. I want to be able to stand in my kitchen and be whatever temperature I want to be. And I want my shower to feel good. And I want to take it for granted. That's what Mainer Service Company can bring you. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, whatever your issues are, give them a call. 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online at MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. Carolina Hurricanes are hosting the Dallas Stars. How much do you hate Mikko Rantanen? Stick around.
When it comes to your roof, it's all about quality above with peace of mind below. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We're proud to be in our 20th year helping families and businesses keep the roof over their heads as economically as possible. We work on every type of roof, gutters, and skylights with quality repairs, maintenance, and replacements for your home, your business, and multifamily. We offer warranties with every new roof and financing options for homeowners, and we're now serving Southern Pines as well. Visit us to learn more at roofwerks.com.
Move your sports day forward.
I've heard all the tired complaints about the transfer portal, which is wide open. It's like the NFL, right? So much free agency, everyone's moving. But trust me, college is a finite experience. If you had a shred of talent and can make the kind of money that they're making in just 4 or maybe 5 years, you do the same thing. Just keep moving.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending in Cary, the original home of the no closing cost mortgage. Back in 1987, after closing my first no-cost loan, I knew that one day it'd become the trademark of my future mortgage company. I'd been a loan officer for less than a year and began to notice this trend of homeowners chasing lower rates while paying upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 in closing costs, in some cases twice in a year. Imagine giving up $40,000 of equity when all you wanted was a lower payment. And as much as I hate to say it, it's still happening 38 years later. Now, had I been like everyone else, I would have simply charged the fees and moved on. But I couldn't. Think for a minute about how many times your bank reached out to offer a free rate reduction and waived your closing costs. At Miller Lending, we want to be your loan partner for life. So why not pick up the phone and say goodbye to closing costs forever? 919-447-3377, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at MillerLending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender on MLS number 250-2146.
Pondering prizes with Cash Pop? Why pick just one pop when you can pick as many pops as you please? Up to 15. Picture this. You pick your pop, perhaps a powerful 7. Now pick more pops like a proud 9, a pristine 15, a perfect 10. Each pop propagates more potential to pack your pockets with prizes up to $2,500. So prepare for a peppering of prizes with Cash Pop from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Cash Pop. Play more pops. Win more prizes. Must be 18 to play. See Cash Pop prize and odds charts at nclottery.com. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dallas coming to town, take on the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. 7 o'clock puck drop, Lenovo Center. You can hear it right here, 99.9 The Fan, as well as the 99.9 The Fan app. Obviously, now and for the at least immediate foreseeable future, when Dallas comes to town, there's going to be this cloud hanging over the game that, quite frankly, just is the Mikko Rantanen relationship. And there's going to be jokes. There's going to be, every time a whistle blows, there'll be an extra shove or two. Which, by the way, like Mikko Rantanen, since he's gone to Dallas, obviously we pay attention to him a lot less than we did when he was with the Carolina Hurricanes. But he's kind of turned like villain. There's late hits, there's suspensions, there's like obvious boarding. Like Most people think of, when you think of 100-point scorer, you think of guy who's like 1 point, whatever points per game in the postseason. You don't think of he's also going to be kind of circled as a player to watch for dirty hits and things. But this season, he's kind of become that.
Jackwagon.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to that caller all those months ago that put the nail on the head. It's just, you got to, that's going to hang over the game. And how they handle it, right? I know what our guy Micah, our loyal listener, is talking about, right? You better have somebody who's willing to talk with their pads and their fists. You better have somebody that's willing to be physical in case. Maybe that's Noah Philp. Maybe that's why he's in the lineup today. He is somebody that has a good hits per game ratio. So perhaps that's it. But there could be some extras. On the other side of it is, these are two very skilled hockey teams. Jason Robertson, from like certain advanced analytics shooting wise, is the most efficient shooter, goal scorer, like per shot attempt. Like there's some advanced analytics I absolutely love what he's doing this year. And obviously the Canes have an insane depth of lineup to counter. It is going to be a very well played talent wise hockey game. Brandon Bussey is in net for the Carolina Hurricanes. I love that decision.
Back-to-back starts.
Back-to-back starts. And do you know why else I love that decision? I love games where the intensity is super high in the regular season for being as close as you can get to the games where the intensity rises at the end of the season, whether it's for seeding or even into the postseason. Brandon Bussey, I mean, I'm sure the AHL is intense. Don't get me wrong, right? I'm sure there are personal rivalries and games that matter and everything else. He's never played in a game like the one he's going to play in tonight, right? He's never played in a game where there's this kind of NHL big game intensity, rivalry, that guy was on our team and he didn't want to be here, so let's go take it to him energy. And I want him in every situation possible before it's like lose and go home. You know what I mean? I want him in every situation possible so he can get a taste of what it feels like. And then on top of that, as I said a few times, they're a good team. They've got scores. As they've seen recently, it's not like, there's NHL teams that don't have scores, but he's going to have to block shots from Rantanen and Robertson, and he's going to have to step up and bail out his guys occasionally, and he's done a great job of it this year. I want to see him do it again. And then there's also just that nice heartwarming feeling of having Seth Jarvis back in the lineup. Skated in morning skate, was taken off IR this afternoon. Rod Brindamore said they are expecting him. He'll be skating at least to start. It appears as if he'll be skating with Jordan Stahl and Jordan Martinook, which is a nice place for him. Let's hear from Rod Brindamore on how Jarvis was missed beyond just what he can do on the ice.
I mean, he's such a gifted player. But you're kind of touching on the other stuff that when a guy's missing and that energy he brings, you don't take it for granted. But when it's not there, you notice that there's something else is missing in the group and in the locker room. And when it's Groundhog Day, when you're playing every other night and it's the new city and it's the same, you got to win the game. And there's that little emotion that you draw on, and certain guys have that, and he's one of them for us. So he's definitely a leader, as you guys see on the ice, but he's definitely becoming that, in the locker room.
Seth Jarvis is a player who has taken on a million different roles for the Canes, and I don't think that's a problem. Right? Not only can he do a little bit of everything in a very high level on the ice, but everything Rod said there about his role on the team, I think he's a bridge. Right, the Canes have veteran players. Think the Jordans, right? Jordan Stahl, Jordan Martinook. They have some older guys. They also have quite a few young 20-somethings. And Jarvis, because of his time around the Canes, right? He's been on the team now for multiple years, but also he has one of those magnetic personalities that seems to get along with everybody. I think he's kind of the bridge. Dennis is showing me that we have a caller on the line that wants to get something off his chest.
Adam in Raleigh wants to speak from the heart about Mikko Rantanen.
I'm fascinated by this. Adam in Raleigh on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. We have a couple minutes here, so with some efficiency, give us your take.
Yeah, so I don't have a problem with him telling Rod right off the get-go, hey, I don't want to play here. I don't want to be here. I can respect that. But the way he played on the ice, his attitude and his lack of effort really rubbed me the wrong way. If, he's a professional athlete.
Mm-hmm.
He should try. Basically, if I performed at my job with the effort level that he did, I would have got canned. So that's what bums me out is, it was just written all over his face that he just didn't want to be there and is not going to try.
All right, I appreciate the call, and I hear you, and I can tell it means something to you. Professional athletes are not like us, and because of that, it almost has to be more virtuous, right? We, meaning like us normal folk, if we don't perform at our job, we get fired.
That's true. We don't.
Athletes, if they've proven that they're good at their sport, they get an insane amount of leeway, and what that does means if they're good people that do things the honorable way, it's because they're honorable people, not because they're afraid of getting fired. Mikko Rantanen could play awful for a full season, and people would still pay him because of what he's shown on the ice. And that gives him like the opportunity to show his true colors, if you will. And we saw that a bit with the Canes. What did he end up playing? Was it 13 games with the Canes?
13, I think is what it was.
I just brought up his career earnings, and I don't even know how much he made from the Canes. But he's made a boatload. He made $72.5 million in his career.
That's a lot.
That is a ton of money. The Canes had $1.2 million in dead cap from his however many games, according to Spotrac here. Accrued dead cap, which is just ridiculous.
But as Travis says online, the Canes should make a tribute video of Mikko Rantanen. It's just him skating around at 20% effort.
I'm with it. With a cool soundtrack. The game you can hear right here on 99.9 The Fan. Overdrive is up next, so enjoy that. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Dallas.
Rebound comes across, and he'll score! Eric Robinson!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Now here comes Svechnikov with a turnover. He scores! That's the magic of Andrei Svechnikov!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rates to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rates in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. Don't wait, no hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out all higher interest debt and lowering your bills by thousands. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy a pallet or more of select concrete mix. And there's more. Save up to 25% when you buy a pallet or more of select drywall panels. Plus, get free same-day delivery to the job site when you order by 2 p.m. Because Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
This hour of The Fan brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka, the world's smoothest vodka. Pour Blue Shark Vodka at all your events to lift everyone's spirits. Blue Shark Vodka, the shark that doesn't bite.
It's 6 o'clock. Time to shift into overdrive. All highlights, no filler, as we run it back from the drive with Tim Donnelly.
The irony of Dave Canales after the Rams game saying, we've seen the Rams' best, and we haven't seen our best. Our best is still ahead of it. And that was so obviously the best game that the Panthers played all year. We haven't seen our best yet, not 20 minutes after they saw the Panthers' absolute best. That was a fantastic game, and they're going to need that. I don't know if you follow the exact same blueprint because I'm guessing the Rams are going to be ready for it. But Football at 4 today, we're going to parse through, particularly on defense, what the Panthers can take away from that Rams game. They defeated the Rams once, and try to use a morsel, a nugget of knowledge, a pearl of wisdom, if you will, from that game to do it again on Saturday. But first, I want to hopefully you will all indulge me for a little bit of time here because I want to dive into the quarterback nerd world. I played quarterback in college. I study quarterbacks. I have entire group chats dedicated just towards breaking down quarterback play. And, oh, my goodness, did you see this throw? Oh, my goodness, did you see this read? And clips and everything else. So I kind of got excited when everyone's talking about Bryce Young and the Panthers after they lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kurt Warner, NFL MVP, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, one of the coolest stories in sports history. Kurt Warner tweeted this out. I know Bryce Young has come a long way from his rookie year, but until he cleans up his feet in the pocket and learns to set strong and ready at the top of the drop, it will be really hard to take that next step. And he put an exclamation point there. It causes him to be late and miss a lot of throws, and with his limited arm